Conference USA on ESPN+. It's all-time meeting 114 in the Rio Grande rivalry. New Mexico State has defeated New Mexico in each of the previous 2 years. And tonight the Aggies look to win 3 in a row for the first time in over a decade. Meanwhile, the Lobos come to town with an explosive offense, averaging nearly 30 points per game, but still looking for their first win in the Bronco Mendenhall era. Glad you're with us. Adam Young alongside the former Aggie defensive back, Danny Nee. We know what the records are. Lobos winless, Aggies 1-3, Danny. A win tonight could really jumpstart both programs.
Yeah, I think with 4 games into the season, there's still plenty of time to impact the rest of the season. But it starts with the game tonight, and it starts with the win. As I'm leaving the hotel, I hear everyone screaming, hey, this is a must-win, this is a must-win. Adam, I think it's going to be a must-win for both teams.
New Mexico State has won 6 of their previous 7 here at Aggie Memorial Stadium overall. They've been really good at home as we take a look at Nee's Keys, and they are presented, as always, Danny, by the El Paso Las Cruces Chevy dealers.
Oh, here we go. Here's what I think's got to happen. Well, we got to improve our first down play. I've noticed in last week that we had 15 chances of first down where we just moved the ball 3 yards or less. With those probabilities, you won't get to that first down marker and you won't stay on the field. Last week, clearly Sam Houston on the field way too long. Win the turnover battles. Last week we had 3 turnovers. One of them cost us 7 points. If you want to win the game tonight, you got to reduce your turnovers. The last is contain Devin Dampier. He is very electric, leading rusher for UNM. If he gets to the edge, he can make some big plays. We got to figure out a way to contain him and keep him under pressure all night long. With that, then you might secure a win.
It's the 10th most played non-conference rivalry game in FBS. The fans always get out for this one. First meeting came all the way back in 1894. Danny, you played in this rivalry. This always meant a little more to the fans and the players, didn't it?
There's no doubt about it. And I hear all the coaches. It's coach talk. It's just another game. It's just another game. But when I talk to the coaches, I had to ask them, it's like, really? Really? I know from playing in this game, it's more than just another game, and it means a lot. It means a lot to the community, especially, if you grew up here and you hang out here, it's important that you get that win.
Aggies have lost 3 in a row, coming off a 31-11 loss at Sam Houston last weekend. Back home after 2 straight on the road, which turned into 2 lopsided losses. This is home game number 3 this year. Meanwhile, New Mexico has played a very difficult early season schedule. 2 Power 4 programs in their first 4 games, coming off a loss 38-21 at Fresno State last weekend. That was a home game last weekend for the Lobos. They have lost 8 of their previous 9 going back to last season. Lobos will kick off. Washington and Watkins back deep for New Mexico State. Charles Steinkamp handles the kickoffs for the Lobos, looking for their first win in the Bronco Mendenhall era. No return for Watkins as it goes over his head, and we'll see Santino Marucci. Danny, this is start number 2, some bright spots a week ago for the transfer from Wake Forest.
Well, I think the QB Carnival has got to come to a stop, and I think it's Santino who's going to get it. I think from the beginning of the season, even Coach Sanchez was saying the second game, you learned so much in the first game, the second game they'll be more comfortable. I look for him to be more comfortable, have a better grasp of the offense, and be able to really execute at a higher level tonight.
3 years for Marucci at Wake Forest. Making his second straight start, 15 of 30, 79 passing yards for him so far this year. 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Seth McGowan, the running back. They swing it out to McGowan. He's been the Aggies' best player so far this year. McGowan just shy of the 30, picks up 4 yards.
When I was talking to the coaches before the game, they said we got to get the ball in the hands of McGowan. McGowan has to get more touches. Last week he did really well, but he didn't have enough, and so they got to figure out a way to give him the ball more, look to be more running, quick dumps to him, give him the ball in the open space and let him make something happen.
Big jolt with the offensive line with the return of center Kanan Yarrow, who missed last week's game. Good to have Yarrow back. Handoff goes to McGowan, running left. He is a very fierce, aggressive runner, and he is just shy of the marker. A lot of people say he runs mad out there, and he picks up 5 yards, Danny.
Yeah, when I was talking to the coaches, I did mention that. It's like, man, he's on a mission when he's running the ball, and he can really pour it in there.
Field for an injured player.
So coach said, hey, we're going to give him the ball as much as possible tonight. And I said, don't you think UNM knows that you want to get him the ball? And here's what he said. Don't care. We're running them. Look for us to run. 3 yards and a cloud of dust tonight.
Player down for New Mexico and their head coach, Bronco Mendenhall, the veteran. Two head coaches in their first year as the head coach of their respective programs, but they've been in those programs before. Bronco Mendenhall, a long time ago, the defensive coordinator at UNM, late 90s, early 2000s. And, of course, Tony Sanchez played in this rivalry for New Mexico State. Got his start in coaching at New Mexico State as well, and then most recently the wide receivers coach the last couple of years. That is Garrison Walker, who is the player down for New Mexico, transfer from Auburn. And we'll step aside, just underway here in the Rio Grande rivalry.
Wow!
Here we go, human. Adventure is everywhere.
My fresh powder's what she really wants, eh?
But my views are the best. Give her to me.
Hey, turn left, I turn right. Hey. Hey.
We've never spoken, but you've told us many things. You told us you love stargazing, almost as much as you hate parallel parking. Remember how you forget to charge your phone? All good. That heavy right foot of yours? We got you. The Lexus ES didn't begin in a studio, it began with you.
Target Circle Week, 1 week.
Sunday the 6th.
Target Circle Week,
Sunday the
1
6th.
week.
Big
Wow.
deal.
It's Target Circle Week.
Get ready for 7 days of big deals.
That's right, Penn. What a big week.
Huge week. Starting October 6th.
My siblings and I are picky. Finding a home for us was tough, but our agent Joe just got our needs.
Congratulations.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
We went on home tour after home tour, all on our schedule, until we finally got the right one.
Selfie time. All right.
You never guess he's a cat guy.
I had to buy the block for my dog. I want it all for my dog. I had to buy the block for my dog. I'm on the next level now.
It's so on.
Well, it's a big crowd per usual here for the Rio Grande rivalry. New Mexico State looking for their third consecutive win against New Mexico 2 years ago here at Aggie Memorial. A lot of the returners played well. Danny, Monte Watkins, Cordell David made a really big impact. They're in this game again tonight. And New Mexico State was able to edge the Lobos 2 years ago. They also beat them last year in Albuquerque. 3rd and 1. McGowan in the Wildcat, and New Mexico meets him right away. 3 Lobos right there, including Dimitri Johnson, as well as Randolph Kapai. And the Aggies fooled nobody with McGowan there in the Wildcat.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where I'd almost like to say, hey, Coach, remember you said 3 yards in a cloud of dust? Put him up there, square him around, and go mano a mano on that front line, and just pour him in. Get him out of the sitting back there in the shotgun.
So it's a loss of 7 on 3rd and 1, and it's a low punt here for George Eberle. Javen Jacobs was back deep, and Angel Munoz will touch it right around the 35-yard line. So a 5-yard catch for McGowan, a 4-yard run for McGowan, and then a big play by the Lobo defense forcing the Eberle punt. Now the New Mexico State defense at times this year, Danny, they've been pretty good. They've been on the field too much though, haven't they?
They have, and I did talk to Coach Morse about that, and I'm going to have more talk about that during the broadcast tonight. But he still feels like the guys are there. He has the right people in the right spot. He has the hosses to make this thing work, but he's just got to give him time and make the mistakes go away.
Jacobs in motion. Devin Dampier, the quarterback, a lot of time to throw. Looking downfield, he has Luke Weissong, and he overthrew him. He had him wide open. Weissong having a huge year, and Dampier, maybe a little juiced up, overthrew it.
Those are the ones I was talking to Coach Morse about. It's like, okay, so you have the right guys, and I believe you, and you can really dial in the defenses, but it just seems like we just have too many penalties or too many breaks in the defense where we just miss guys, and that was a prime example right there. Blown coverage, wide open.
Adrenaline, of course, at a high level in a game like this. Dampier playing in this rivalry for the first time, hands it off to Eli Sanders, who cuts upfield taken down from behind by Tyler Martinez at the 40. Picks up 4 yards, but a flag comes in near the 40. Lobos have been penalized a bunch this year, the most in FBS.
Hold. Offense. Number 56. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
It's our Mackenzie Agnello, who's playing at right tackle. Normally the center for the Lobos gets called for the holding.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. You just get up in there and he just gets his hands on the inside there and just grabs on, holds on. That's a close one though, but they called him on it. This is a penalty team, UNM, that they need to try to correct that if they're going to be successful tonight.
Danny, that's 46 penalties on the year now for the Lobos. 33 combined in the previous 2 games coming in. Almost intercepted by Josiah Cox. It bounced right in front of him off the hands of Ryan Davis. Cox had a pair of picks in the loss last week against Sam Houston.
You know, I was talking to Coach Morse about Cox and said, you know, he just looks like a great player back there. He said he is so poised, he is ready to explode, and he's getting better the more he gets to know his defense. I like him back there. He plays very hard defense.
Lobos 33% on third down this year. They need the 46 on 3rd and 20.
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. The ruling on the field of a catch is under further review.
So they're going to check it to see if Cox had an interception. Tony Sanchez was talking to one of the officials. It seemed like it did bounce in front of Cox, but they're going to check just to make sure upstairs.
Well, Coach Sanchez down there, he has a good line on that to look at it, and this is one of the breaks that could help him. He said, important for us to get out and have a good start tonight. So if you got a pick, it would get you a good start. That first drive didn't end like you liked, and so this is a chance to turn the tide, maybe get a pick and start midfield and move it in.
Danny, you think back to a week ago, and Cox had the 2 interceptions, but Nick Session almost had an interception that he would have taken in for a touchdown on the first play of the game. DeCarrick Hobbs almost had a pick. There were a couple of fumbles on the turf. One of them, the Aggies took it in the end zone, but the call was overturned. Another one they couldn't scoop up. So they could have forced a handful of turnovers a week ago. It only got 2.
And I think those things really turned the tide of the game. And so you think about some of those. First play of the game last week, hit him in the hands and he dropped it. But, you know, here we are, a new week. Those things don't matter, so now we got to see out there and see if he can get this pick.
Tony Sanchez has been in this rivalry a bunch as a player, as a student assistant, and as an assistant coach, as the wide receivers coach the previous couple of years. Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass has been confirmed. 3rd down.
That was pretty easy to see from the review. Rory Bernard is our referee tonight, Conference USA crew. Regardless, it is still 3rd and 20 for the Lobos. And this offense has been good. They're averaging almost 30 points per game, 440-plus yards of total offense in 3 in a row.
Yeah, last week they moved the ball pretty good against Fresno State, too, who's a very good team. So, yeah, you can't let them get too much confidence.
Penalties have really plagued them all year. That's led to that 0-4 start. Dampier under pressure. He has not been sacked yet this year. The Aggies trying to get to him from behind. Naki Fahina trying to get to him. Noah Renze, flag comes in. Dampier will plant throw, looking for Jacobs. It is caught. Coverage from Dylan early, but it looks like this one is coming back a long ways away. Flag all the way back at the 20. And that was before Dampier launched.
Yeah, I think there was two separate penalties on the play. One was Dampier, when he was running around, there was a hold as we were trying to get to him. And the other is after he threw the ball, I think we continued on, and it was a little too close, and there was a separate flag for that.
Lobos committed 17 penalties a week ago, which tied a school record. Naki Fahina almost got to him twice. It's a heck of a throw and a heck of a catch, too, by the running back, Javen Jacobs, who is used heavily in the passing game.
There are 2 fouls on the
Here's
play.
the call.
One against each team. Personal foul. Roughing the passer with targeting. Defense. Number 98. Ineligible player downfield. Offense. Those fouls will offset. The penalty for roughing the passer will be enforced. The targeting is under further review.
So they're going to check on the targeting, which is on the true freshman Malaki Taase on that throw. after the first flag was thrown. And the penalty's offset. The one that would be enforced is the penalty on New Mexico. Is that the way you understood it there, Danny?
I'm not sure if it was that way or there. I think that it was going to be the personal foul on that. And then in terms of the targeting, Blocky,
here's the targeting on 98.
Yeah.
Martinez was right there as well. Initially, he said penalties will offset, and then I heard him say something about enforcing one of the penalties as well. It seemed like Rory Bernard was trying to kind of figure it out as well. It was confusing play after the first flag was thrown. The second flag was thrown on the pass, of course, on the targeting call on Taase, which is big because if targeting is upheld, he's out of this game.
Yeah, and I think they're going to need him up front there. We talked with Coach about who's the guys up front that can really put the pressure on there and keep Devin kind of corralled, and he mentioned Blocky early on saying, hey, he's a guy that's really coming into his own. Expect good things for him, but so if you lose him early in the game, that's going to be hard.
Depth is already a little bit of an issue on the defensive line. Cole Schnetkoke was injured against Liberty earlier this year, so the depth tested a little bit. Tahase's had a really good freshman year out of Mountain View High School in Mesa. High school three-star recruit, originally committed to Nevada, and here's the call.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. Both fouls will offset. We'll replay third down.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
So,
I didn't quite understand what he was saying. This one will be enforced.
Yeah,
like, wait,
at the
what?
end he was talking about one being enforced after the offset, so it's going to be 3rd and 20 once again. And that's huge for New Mexico State to keep Taase in the game.
Right.
What a throw as well by Dampier.
Dampier can scramble, and that's part of the keys. You got to keep him contained, because if you let him run around there and get to the edge, he will make you pay.
Ball is still on the 26. Had a lot of time to throw in the previous play. Running back Jacobs. Dampier throws far side, single coverage, coming back and making a catch. Caleb Medford. He turned around at the very last second. Nathan Mitchell, the nickel, back in coverage. What a catch by the transfer from TCU.
Yeah, that was a great back shoulder pass there. Let's look at the pressure up there. I think Coach is thinking we're going to kind of twist Buddha in there and see if he can get to him. He couldn't get to him. Quick play here.
First down run for the running back, Jabin Jacobs, one of 3 backs that UNM will use. Huge conversion on 3rd and 20 for the Lobos. And Dampier showing off his arm early. They'll hand it right back to Jacobs again. Running game's been a little bit up and down this year for the Lobos. In fact, their best rusher has been their quarterback, Dampier, who's averaging almost 70 rushing yards per game.
Yeah, it's tough. You got to make sure you know where he is at all times.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Lobos just converted on 3rd and 20. All they need is 1 yard. Corey Rogers off the right hip of Dampier. Isaiah Silliman, the 300-pound tight end, lined up to the right of the formation. They'll run it on 3rd and 1, and Rogers nowhere to go. Tyler Martinez met him, the Albuquerque native from Volcano Vista High School.
Tyler Martinez is another one that Coach Morris is saying, this guy is really turning it on. I like Tyler's play because he's playing very fast. He is quick, coming to the ball, so here he is tackling downhill, filling the hole, holding his ground and making sure he makes that tackle, holding him tight.
No gain on the play, so it's 4th and 1. Lobos 4 for 7 on 4th down this year. And they're going to go for it. Their kicker's a good one, Luke Drzewicki, but they will go for it on 4th and 1. Under center is Dampier. Hands it off. 1st down for the Lobos. It's Silliman in there, the tight end. They ran it with Rogers again, the transfer from FCS Campbell. A gamble early pays off for Bronco Mendenhall.
Yeah, I think you're going to see both teams doing this. They're going to get down here, and until one of the teams stands up and says, I can't stop you, I think they're going to do this and go for it on 4th down, especially in a situation like that where they have the momentum.
They converted on 3rd and 20 during this first drive for the Lobo offense. Nearly 5 minutes in. Dampier on the jet sweep, hands it off to Weissong. Weissong finds a path, trying to reach for the pylon. and he is going to be just short. They're going to mark him out around the 3-yard line. So he was out of bounds at the 3, reaching for the pylon at the very end of the play.
A long forming play, great blocking up front by UNM. We had a couple of Aggies in position to make a play here, and here you'll see Wysong coming from the right to the left, hand the ball off there. A couple guys at the point of contact, and we just can't get rid of them. You see Derek Hobbs right there, he was right there, couldn't spin fast enough to make that play.
Yeah, that right foot stepped out of bounds for Wysong at the 3. Jumbo package for the Lobos. Deep back is Rogers trying to plow his way into the end zone, still pushing. Rogers is in for a rushing score. Second rushing touchdown for Nakari Rogers, his 3rd overall with the Lobos here in year 1. Well, jumbo package there for UNM using the big tight end Silliman. That is hard to stop for the New Mexico State defense.
Yeah, you got a lot of beef up front there, and it's just a pushing match from that point forward. You see both trying to get lower, and they ended up getting just a little bit lower.
Vincent Santos was also pushing up front there for the Lobos. Point after is good for Luke Drizwicki. The big play during the drive was the conversion on 3rd and 20 for Bronco Mendenhall's offense. It was Dampier to Medford, and then Rogers runs it in 3 yards away. Lobos strike first in the Rio Grande rivalry.
Where limits end, adventure begins. Where boundaries are pushed, innovation thrives. At New Mexico State University, we empower you to be bold in your actions. Together, we can take new strides to shape the future.
At Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, it's our job to make the complex simple. When your life is sidelined by an injury, surgery, or a condition keeping you from doing what you love, our services aim to get you pain-free and fully functioning. We truly care about our patient outcomes, helping you achieve your goals and improve your quality of life. Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. Love your life.
That day, it was just so hard to breathe. I thought it was my lungs, but turns out I needed open heart surgery. The staff at Memorial is amazing. The doctors took the time to explain things and to be supportive. Without them, I wouldn't be here. And that's the Memorial difference.
When we work together, we have the power to create positive change in our communities. And that's exactly what you are doing when you join Community Rewards. Just by using your Nusenda Visa debit card, you can help support education, healthcare, the arts, environment and wildlife, or community services and support. Skip the PIN on your purchases, you'll earn cash back and help fund grants in your community. When you invest in your community, we invest in you.
Nusenda Credit Union, the power of we. Visit nusenda.org to learn more.
10 plays, 64 yards. Lobos get a 3-yard rushing touchdown for Nakari Rogers, who had 10 rushing touchdowns in 2 years at FCS Campbell. Big 3rd and 20 conversion during the play, and now New Mexico State will come on offense here in a moment for the second time tonight after they could not convert on a 3rd and 1. 2 big plays early on in this game, and we know big plays can really sway this game in this rivalry too. 114th all-time matchup. And Monte Watkins, 3 yards deep, will take it out. And he gets tripped up. Good player in special teams for the Lobos. D'Angelo Mays making the tackle on special teams, stripping up Watkins, who was looking for a big explosion play on the return.
I know Watkins wants to get more touches and he wants to make things happen, and that's a chance where if he can get by that one guy that's coming in off the edge, he might have a chance, but he was tripped up.
Aggies went to McGowan twice, a pass and a run to start their first drive, and then the Wildcat did not work on 3rd and 1. Running back right now is Monte Watkins alongside Santino Marucci. Lorenzo McMillan in motion. He'll take the handoff. McMillan, he's been in the program for a while. Running far side of the field, down to the 40, across midfield. McMillan still on his feet. Lorenzo McMillan, the California native. 84 yards.
Wow, talk about big plays to counter and answer. McMillan, who hasn't been a big part of this picture so far here. Let's see this as he's turning the corner here. He gets the corner, but part of that is you get the Lobos who are biting in tight, and there was no one left on there. Couldn't trip him up, and he just kept his feet underneath him. No flags. Count it.
He's a veteran, Danny. He hasn't had a lot of touches during his career. I think he's going to get a few more. Point after from Abraham Montano. Out of the hold of George Eberle. Sometimes it takes somebody a little bit unsung, an unsung hero, Danny, to propel you to a victory in the rivalry. That play's a big one early on for McMillan.
Yeah, we haven't had that many big plays here, so let's take another look at it there. Again, the block at the point of attack important, but you get two Lobos that are out of position, and McMillan takes the corner, and from there, it's just to the house, not going to fall down. Great answer. It's going to be a great night of football tonight, Adam.
Danny, us broadcasters, we use a two deep, and McMillan really isn't even on the two deep, right? We know that he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. He could be used as a wide receiver. He's a running back. That running back room is pretty loaded, and he's one of those guys who has stuck through the program the last couple of years. This is his third different head coach he's played for.
And I think
he has not gone to the portal. He has stuck here, and he makes a big play here in the rivalry.
And I think maybe what Coach Anschutz is thinking is like, okay, so we have all these guys. Here's one that no one's looking at. So if you put someone else out there, if you put Watkins or if you're going to put McGowan, it's like keep your eye on them. Those are the big play guys. Keep your eye on the big play guys. And when they're looking at the shiny nickel, here comes McMillan sweeping around that left end there, gets a couple of great tackles, or great blocks, and just steps it all the way down.
And that is what this Aggie offense desperately needed as well. Only 18 combined points in the previous 10 quarters of football coming in. After getting off to a decent start against SEMO and then the first couple of quarters against Liberty, the offense has really struggled. And you get a play like that, that could really help the rest of the way tonight. Lobo offense back to work with Devin Dampier. Only his 6th career start, did not play in the rivalry a year ago. First year as a full-time starter. 9 games a year ago, only had 1 start a year ago. First appearance against the Aggies. He has shown off his arms so far, might see his legs at some point as well. Weissong in motion, handoff goes to Rogers, who had the rushing touchdown. And he runs into a brick wall up front for the Aggie defense. Tyler Martinez right there, so was Lawson and Fahina.
I know the defense was just out there, right? So last week we saw that the defense played way too much stayed out on the field, and they couldn't get a stop. This is not what Coach had counted on, but I think he'll take a quick score.
3-yard pickup for Rogers. Empty backfield. Rogers at wide receiver now. Catch is made by Weissong, and Taden Barnes is right there to meet him. Forward progress up to the 35, so it will move the chains. I think the Lobo fans wanted to call right there on Barnes for kind of taking Weissong in midair and slamming him down a little bit.
Yeah, great quick throw there. Get the ball out quickly and a little hitch out there. Taden's on coverage and has good coverage, but they got the first.
And that could have been called there on Barnes. It was called a couple weeks ago against Fresno State. He did the same thing then. Rogers the run on first down. So healthy dose of Rogers. We've seen Sanders and Jacobs as well. 3 running backs will be used by the Lobo offense. Second down and 4, 7-7 game. A lot of highlights already in the first handful of minutes. Pushing the pile is Rogers. Another first down for the Lobos as he picks up 7. Moves the chains up to the 46. Rogers from Virginia Beach, Virginia. 5'11", 208 junior. Once again, a transfer from FCS Campbell. Play action pass for Dampier. He'll launch it downfield again. Weissong got bumped a little bit by DeCarrick Hobbs. He's looking for a flag, won't get one. Crosby was there as well.
Yeah, I think Weissong had him too. He had him burnt there as we're getting safety come over top to see if he could provide some help, but I think the safety coming in was a little late at him, and so if the ball was overthrown, otherwise I think we'd have been in trouble there. Great arm. We're looking at a fantastic arm. Yeah,
great arm for Dampier, and Weissong having a great year. 9th in the country in receiving yards with 407 coming in. 6+ catches in all 4 games coming in for Weissong, who's from Rio Rancho, went to Cleveland High School. Sanders, the tailback. They'll give it to him. Trying to shimmy through a hole. Martinez is leaning in once again for the tackle. Also right there was Taase, the freshman. Martinez, there's a little extra, I think, in this game for him, being from Albuquerque, Danny.
Yeah, I think he can feel a little bit of juice in there, and Martinez has been playing very well. He's been playing very fast. I commented to Coach Morris, it's like Martinez plays fast, and he says, I like the way his speed comes side to side and closing quick.
Lobos need the Aggie 44. Quick strike, and it is broken up. Intended for Trujillo. Josiah Charles, the Arlington native, in coverage.
Yeah, great stop right here. Pass back shoulder. This is very difficult to defend because you're upfield on him, and it should turn around there, and he just got his hands back in there and knocked that loose.
Lobos converted on 3rd and 20 during the opening drive when they scored a touchdown. Could not convert on 3rd and 8. Punter for the Lobos is Aaron Rodriguez. Back deep for the Aggies is TJ Pride, with Jordan Smith unavailable tonight. What a perfect bounce. And New Mexico State is going to be pinned deep inside the 5-yard line. They're going to mark it out, it looks like, at the 2. Perfect placement there by Aaron Rodriguez in his 6th and his final year collegiately. That was his 228th career punt, and it's one of his better ones. We have a good one tonight. 7-7. Aggie offense back to work when you come back.
The moments along the way define who you become, the legacy you craft. Embrace the journey. It sets you apart. Dig deeper, rise up, and show the world what you're made of. The clock is ticking. You're up.
Target Circle Week, 1 week.
Sunday the 6th.
Target Circle Week,
Sunday the
1
6th.
week.
Big
Ow.
deal.
It's Target Circle Week.
Get ready for 7 days of big deals.
That's right, Penn. What a big week.
Huge week. Starting October 6th.
Oh, yes!
Strict dress code.
You son of a... Why'd you keep knocking people out? You should get voted sexiest man of the year. We're back! How does Tom Cruise do this? My creator has found us. We have something it needs. Eddie, I'm with you to the end. Now that's horsepower!
October 25th.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it. We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
I'm on the next level now.
It's so on.
It's a good crowd, as always, for the Rio Grande rivalry, alongside a man who played in this rivalry. Danny Nee, the former Aggie defensive back. Adam Young with you. Great to have you with us. Both teams trying to get back on track. Aggies trying to get to 2-3, which is where they were 5 games in a year ago during their 10-win season. Lobos looking for that first win. Poor field position for the Aggies. Marucci in the end zone. Ball is at the 2-yard line. Running back is Mike Washington. Need a little more breathing room. And Washington able to get a couple out near the 5-yard line. They'll mark him at the 4.5. So a little more breathing room for Marucci standing inside his own end zone.
That punt went sideways out of bounds there and really pinned him tight there. So getting those extra couple yards in there from Washington. Both Washington and McGowan, when you see them run, they run angry, especially McGowan. So very strong backs. See a lot of that tonight is what Coach is counting on.
That was the 45th carry this year for Washington, who came in after 3 years at Buffalo. 10 rushing scores in 3 years there. Ball is on the 4. Washington will stay in at running back. Hand it right back to him, and Washington has pretty much nowhere to go. They're going to give him forward progress up to the 6, so maybe gets 2 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and 6 coming up.
You know, the thing about where Coach is saying, look, I'm gonna run them, and they may know I'm coming, but I don't care. I'm going to run them. I'm going to keep running them. The thing with that strategy is you have to have the horses up front there. They can provide a crease, a hole, or something. And if you don't get any leverage up front there, it's a tough strategy. It can work, but it's got to be a tough strategy, and you have to keep the score close.
Only one pass attempt so far for Santino Marucci. It was a completion on the first play of the game to McGowan, the running back. Running back here, Washington again. Motions to the left of Marucci, and he needs to burn a timeout. So they're going to talk things over here on 3rd and 6.
New Mexico State, they're first. 30 seconds.
Marucci, Danny, he came in after spring ball. He's still trying to learn the offense. This is only his 2nd start, so there will be some growing pains along the way as he starts to really feel comfortable running this offense.
Right, and I asked the coaches about, well, what about Santino? Is he getting a hold of things? Can he grasp the offense? Are you having to pull the reins back just a little bit? Or are you letting him run? And they said, no, he can go. He's ready to go. I don't think we're going to hold anything back. But in that particular instance right back there, you can see Coach Sanchez, who wasn't very happy with the way they adjusted to a change, so he called a timeout.
Go back to 2021, Marucci's first year at Wake Forest, only 6 snaps that year, no action in 2022, and then a year ago, only played in 3 games for the Demon Deacons, only made 1 start, but he did lead Wake Forest to a win against Pitt a year ago. 21 pass attempts a year ago, 31 pass attempts as an Aggie so far, so this is the most action he has seen collegiately already. Marucci will throw on 3rd down, caught by the freshman TJ Pride, who's been the best receiver so far this year, Danny, for the Aggies, and that moves the chains.
Yeah, TJ last week caught 5 passes for 33 yards. You're going to go quick here, try to do a little tempo. I like it.
Looks like McGowan lined up at wide receiver. Washington breaks the tackle, and he bulldozes ahead up to the 25-yard line. He picks up 11, move the sticks again.
I like it, and here's the situation. They came out with a 2-by-2, so there's 2 backs, 2 wideouts at the top, 2 at the bottom, which means the defense has to spread out just a bit, especially if Santino can start throwing the ball. There's going to be a problem there. So as they spread out, it creates these creases where Washington can stick his nose in there and get some good yardage.
Fresh set of downs for Santino Marucci. Tight end Adam Parks just came in. He's on the top side of the screen right now, lined up at wide receiver. Now Parks in motion, redshirt freshman, lined up to the left. Hand off, no, Marucci is going to keep it. He runs straight ahead, he fooled everybody, and he runs for 11 yards, Danny.
How good was that fake on that? Part of that is the ride, so if you watch it, you can see that he's riding him all the way through, and at the last second pulls it out and keeps it, and it really fooled everyone. Great play.
This is the most tempo we've seen for the Aggie offense this year. Play fake, Marucci, tons of time to throw. Pocket holds, Marucci will launch it right side, and he throws it away, and then it's dropped. Should have been an interception. Christian Ellis, who has the lone Lobo pick all year, had it in his breadbasket and couldn't hang on.
Hey, Adam, were you thinking over there, throw the ball away, throw the ball away, throw the ball away? I was absolutely doing that. Everyone's covered. 4 guys in the pattern. You see one coming across the middle.
On University of New Mexico.
They're going to check and see if he caught it first before dropping it, but I think he could have dropped it. Clearly covered. Should have thrown the ball away, and I think if you look at Coach Sanchez on the sidelines, he was very upset about that too, saying throw the ball away. Nothing to be had here.
Once again, the Lobos only have 1 interception all year. It came from Ellis. He should have had that one. New life for the Aggie offense on a drive that started back at the 2. Screen pass to P.J. Johnson. Decent block ahead from Monte Watkins, and a good pickup on second down.
Those quick passes to the outside, the only thing that makes those goes is the point of attack for the blocking, and you can see they picked up 2 great blocks at the top of the screen, and then that's what allowed him to get some extra yardage in there. Great play.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 4 coming up. The Aggies need the 46. They're 1 for 2 on 3rd down so far tonight. Running back McGowan. It's been a good drive so far. Marucci slant route caught again. TJ Pride, he's done that twice on 3rd down on the slant. His 2nd catch during this drive.
Yeah, the hardest pattern to cover is that little slant, because if you're the back side of him, you have to really get on that upside shoulder. If you're 1/2 a step back, the receiver can screen you, can get the ball, and it's a great pass and catch. And you can see right here, he's to his backside, not his upside shoulder, which allowed him to make that catch.
Under 3 left here in quarter number 1. 1st down and 10. Marucci will swing it out. McGowan ahead of steam into Lobo territory. Lobo's trying to take him down from behind. Aggie bench area calling for a late hit. They won't get it. Tackle made by Bryson Taylor, the cornerback.
What a great career over at Mesquite, Texas High School. Catch the ball. Very angry runner, very talented runner if he gets out there.
And a good block as well by wide receiver Latrell Neville. So the wide receiver is doing their job blocking so far in the 1st quarter. Ball is at the 41. Aggies trying to take an early lead. Parks in motion. Marucci hands it off straight ahead. Washington was trying to wait for a hole to open, and he gets tripped up from behind by Tyler Keeney, the Los Lunas native, a transfer from UCLA.
Man, Tyler sticks out that big paw, knocks him down. If he doesn't do that, I think he picks up 5, 6, 7, 8 yards there. So great job by Tyler in there. Washington saw that too, was trying to pick his feet up, but just couldn't get it done.
Keeney, the former #1 ranked recruit in New Mexico in 2020, began his career with the Bruins of UCLA. Second down and 10. 2 running back look, Washington and McGowan. McGowan in motion to the left, and a poor throw by Marucci. And if McGowan catches that, if it's a good throw, it probably would have been a pretty good pickup. He had some open turf.
And he knows it. He says, yeah, that's me. That's on me. He absolutely picks up 2 great blocks that you may not see. It's the top of your screen to the right. He's just got to dump this out there, make a quick, easy pass. And there were 2 fantastic blocks in there that he couldn't take advantage of.
And Marucci knows that's a throw he has to make. You can tell he was upset and frustrated with himself right away. It's been a good drive so far for the Wake Forest transfer. So it's 3rd and 10. McGowan, the running back. 4 receiver look. Marucci looking right, throws across the middle, incomplete. TJ Pride checked that. Cordell David, the intended receiver. David, a couple years ago, had a big game against the Lobos in the win here at Aggie Memorial. No flags, incomplete, 4th and 10.
I think Coach is wanting to try to get Cordell more into the game here, and this is the one that's right across the middle. Very tough to throw across the middle of the field with so much traffic there. I don't think Cordell had very much chance on that one.
A lot of zip on that one from Marucci. Good coverage there by the Lobos, so the drive will stall. And now Abraham Montaño is going to attempt a field goal here. The kick is away, and it is no good. That was unofficially a 57-yard attempt. So that would have been by far a new career long for Montaño. Were you surprised they tried a field goal there?
I was just a little bit, but I certainly think that both coaches are going to pull out all stops. That included a long field goal as well. Clearly it's his foot that can get to that distance. In this case, he didn't get set properly, or something happened. He didn't get it all, but a little bit.
Well, if you're Tony Sanchez, you know the length to where Montaño can go, so certainly it was doable, just could not connect. Low throw. Rontravius Perry in coverage on that throw there by Dampier. 2nd down and 10 coming up for Dampier on the Lobo offense. What you do here is you give pretty good field position to a really good quarterback in an offense that at times this year has been explosive. 2nd and 10 from the 40. Running back is Javen Jacobs. Dampier will fake it. Now he's running for his life, and he throws it away. He has not been sacked yet this year. Nico Johnson was getting to him.
There's no foul for
and now you know why. If you could see how quick he is with that, there was nothing to be had going down the left side there.
3rd down.
Keep that ball to your left as you look at it there. Good position by the Aggies. Had him broke down, so he wasn't going to fake him out in any way. Nothing he could do with the ball, and just got rid of it. Good plan.
Boy, is he shifty. He reminds me a lot of Caden Salter for Liberty, who the Aggies saw in week 2, and Salter projected to be an NFL quarterback. Dampier is awfully good. Lobos need midfield. They need the 50. Dampier, a lot of time to throw. Comeback route, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the possession receiver, Ryan Davis, the transfer from UAB.
Yeah, good defense by the Aggies there. Had him covered. He had to come back for the ball. Even if he makes the catch, he'll be a little bit short, but he may go for it on 4th down. But in this case, he didn't catch the ball, so they're going to punt it away.
Good field position for the Lobos. They do nothing with it. And now Aaron Rodriguez, who began his career a long time ago at Missouri, is back to punt. TJ Pride back deep to receive. Rodriguez had a good one earlier, and this one is going to be good again. Aaron Rodriguez might be the MVP of this game so far. And he's going to pin the Aggies inside the 5 again. They're going to mark it at the 4.
That's tough right there. You get a little sideways spin on that thing, going to celebrate. There's a lot to celebrate right there. Deep kick, and watch the ball spin left out of bounds there. Instead of going in the end zone where they take it back out, in this case they're going to bounce hard left and pin the Aggies deep.
This is what an experienced punter will do for you. That's 229 career punts now for Rodriguez. He's had 2 exceptional kicks. Now the New Mexico State offense was able to get some breathing room and more in the previous trip, starting at the 2. Now they start at the 4. And instead of Washington, who was in earlier when the Aggies were back at the 2, it's going to be McGowan inside his own end zone alongside Santino Marucci, the quarterback. They'll stick it in McGowan's belly. McGowan breaks the tackle past the 10 up to the 12-yard line. He gets 8 yards. Man, does he run angry.
And there's no give up, right? On that run right there. Take care of the football, and you can just keep pumping your legs, because if you don't get in front of him and you pull both legs down, he's just going to keep driving away. He's not a small guy either.
No.
So he can push you around a little bit.
Aggies can take this to the end of the quarter without running a play, and it looks like they will. Well, you feel pretty good after that start for UNM if you're a New Mexico State fan. It was a 3-yard touchdown run for Nakari Rogers to put the Lobos up 7-0 after they converted on 3rd and 20, 5 minutes in.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And then New Mexico State gets an 84-yard touchdown run by seldom used Lorenzo McMillan. Only his 3rd carry all year. We're knotted at 7-1 in the Rio Grande rivalry.
Target Circle Week, 1 week.
Sunday the 6th.
Target
Big deal.
Circle Week,
Sunday the
1
6th.
week.
Big
Ow.
deal.
It's Target Circle Week.
Get ready for 7 days of big deals.
That's right, Penn. What a big week.
Huge week. Starting October 6th.
Whatever you're into, Mercedes-Benz has an SUV for you. City shopping spree you. Weekend getaway you. Outdoor adventures you. Stylish, powerful, sophisticated. Because when you're in a Mercedes, you'd expect nothing less. Visit MBUSA.com for special offers on select SUV models.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus. Sign up today.
This time I use talk, my use they use talk. And it's in! Historic goal! I love this game, it's so hard, the one you never ever knew about. I'm on the next level now. What a strike!
It's so on.
Left-footed dog! Runs it! And he attacked. He'll reach back like he's
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000 plus out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus. Sign up today.
This season, ESPN Plus has hundreds of games across 20 conferences. That's more action, more touchdowns, more college football.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
Streaming now.
Live can't miss NFL games. An ESPN Plus exclusive Monday night matchup. Plus NFL primetime. You can't get anywhere else. And our exclusive expert analysis. ESPN Plus equals more football. Stream now.
This crowd is ready. You ready, partner?
Yeah, let's go.
Live can't miss NFL games.
What a catch!
An ESPN Plus exclusive Monday night matchup.
Touchdown, LA!
Plus NFL primetime. You can't get anywhere else.
He could go all the way.
Oh, did I mention our exclusive expert analysis? Why settle for some football when you can have more football? It's simple. ESPN Plus equals more football. Stream now.
Ready for second quarter action from Aggie Memorial Stadium. Two head coaches in the first year at their respective programs, but they know these programs well. Bronco Mendenhall, the former defensive coordinator at New Mexico, on the left side of the screen, and then Tony Sanchez on the right side, played in this rivalry for New Mexico State, and then most recently the wide receivers coach. So these two head coaches know this rivalry very well. Second down and 2 from the 12. McGowan running left, has tons of space, trying to get a block up field from Ortiz. Flag is thrown. McGowan pushed out of bounds to the 20. He was trying to get a block from Alan Ortiz, the wide receiver, and it seems like that's where they threw the flag.
Let's take a look at the play here. You can see it up front there. He got blocking. He crushed everyone back down. Kick one guy out, create a big hole in there, and McGowan sees nothing but green and just goes all the way. And back there
Offense.
is where they...
Number 81, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
So it's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. And you could kind of see that all playing out. Couldn't you, Danny?
You could. And it's like, don't touch him, don't touch him. There's no use in touching him, but did.
Nonetheless, the ball will be at the 40, so still a pretty good run for McGowan. New Mexico State really establishing that running game here in the first half. The best it's looked since early on against Liberty in week 2. Marucci hands it off. Monte Watkins, who had a receiving touchdown 2 years ago in this rivalry. Short gain for Watkins on first down.
You know, I was really impressed with McGowan's speed on that big play, too. He was out there, and he was stepping quickly. Now, we know Watkins can certainly, being a sprinter, can make it downfield, so create an opening for him, and I'm not sure you'll catch him at all.
New Mexico State brings Lorenzo McMillan in at wide receiver. No catches this year, had the 84-yard run earlier on the sweep. Only had 2 carries for 7 yards in the first 4 games coming in. Lined up slot left, in motion behind the quarterback is Watkins. They hand it off, running straight ahead. It was Johnson in motion. It was Watkins with the carry. He gets past the 45 up to the 46, picks up 3.
Like the play call. I like that you're putting people in motion. You have a lot of opportunities, a lot of things happening back there that if the defense takes their eyes off where the ball is, that you can easily squirt through there and get a big play. And then you also leave open to giving the ball on that fly sweep as well.
3rd and 4. Marucci needs midfield here for a first down. Washington will motion out as a wide receiver to the right. 3 at the top, 1 to the bottom. Back to throw. Marucci has an open receiver, and he overthrew him. Whistled it right past the running back, Washington, who was lined up at wide receiver. Had him open there on the sideline.
He was. There was a couple other guys open too as well. There was TJ Pride across the middle there. It was kind of congested a little bit, but he came open right across the middle. So lots of things happening in there. You saw TJ across the middle, see him crossing the screen there. Throws the back shoulder fade on this. Just can't quite get there for Washington.
Christian Ellis in coverage, making his 16th career start for the Lobos. Eberle will punt. Jacobs back deep. It's a low line drive kick. Jacobs will call for a fair catch inside the 15. 7-7 ball game. Early on in quarter two on a beautiful night from Aggie Memorial.
Take pride in your work. The things that you make you. White Sands Federal Credit Union has built something to be proud of right here in the Mesilla Valley, helping generations of people at every step of life. Local people making local decisions, paying attention to the details with all the loan and financial support you need. When it comes to our community, come to White Sands Federal Credit Union, your local credit union.
At Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, it's our job to make the complex simple. When your life is sidelined by an injury, surgery, or a condition keeping you from doing what you love, our services aim to get you pain-free and fully functioning. We truly care about our patient outcomes, helping you achieve your goals and improve your quality of life. Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. Love your life.
It takes a strong foundation to build something that will last. The best foundation isn't always seen, but it is felt. It supports the weight of everything built upon it. With the support of alumni and friends, the New Mexico State University Foundation has been a cornerstone to our institution for over 60 years. Our commitment is unwavering. Be bold and shape the future. Visit us at alwaysanaggie.org.
Joe Morris's Aggie defense back to work, and after a slow start, Danny, the defense is a little good.
Yeah, it's looking really good, and I really enjoyed talking with Coach Morris this week and trying to figure out, well, what about your defense? What do we need to do to fix? How do we do this? What about this? And the whole time, Adam, it's completely calm, no panic in his voice. Got to fix some things. We are under control. We got it. Don't worry. It's like, all right, Coach, I'm with you. Sign me up.
Devin Dampier will start at the 14-yard line.
And you know, one more thing, Adam, I think players like playing for him. He's kind of an energetic coach, and he can really rally the troops. And I would love to be able to play for a guy like that.
Yeah.
You just want to do great for him because he believes in you, he's confident, and I just think the players really like playing for him.
Pickup of one up to the 15. For receiver look for UNM. Tight end is Silliman. Empty backfield for Dampier, the dual threat quarterback. Caught by Ryan Davis, but a flag comes in near the 10. UNM has been penalized a bunch early on again for a 5th consecutive game.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Danny, it's the little things, and right now the little things just aren't going well for UNM overall.
Yeah, you know, even listening to Coach Mendenhall in his press conference, it's like, well, look, you know, penalties will bother me except for the numbers. Then you look at the probabilities, and he went into the whole thing about that. And the timeliness of some of these things can really kill a drive as well, including us. We've had many drives where we just had a time penalty, and it was just like bad timing for that.
And you have to wonder a week ago what happens against Fresno at home if they don't get penalized 17 times. The tight end, Bruckler, broke a tackle initially, and then Lico Johnson finishes him off. That is career catch number 36 for Trace Bruckler, who's used a lot in the passing game.
How about Dampier getting that ball out fast there? I mean, they were coming at him, and he just got rid of the ball right away. Felt the pressure coming, and that's where you want to throw the ball, into the pressure that's coming there. Right from the bottom of your screen there, you see the big blitz coming in there. He gets the ball out quickly and able to make a completion.
Yeah, Bruckler went off. He appeared to be injured, so Silliman comes in at tight end, and the pass is broken up. Keontae Glinton got there, intended for Weissong, who's been active per usual in the first half.
Little crossing pattern. It didn't look like there was much happening there. A lot of Aggies standing in there, and he had to just thread it perfectly, and just wasn't enough room to get that ball in there.
So another punt coming up for Rodriguez, and this time he's going to stand in his own end zone. So he can't place this one inside the 5-yard line, Danny. TJ Pride near midfield, his first game doing punt returns. Jordan Smith unavailable. Pride is going to return this one. Never called for a fair catch. That was dangerous, and he's drug out of bounds at the 50 by Paula Gates. That was dangerous for Pride.
That was very dangerous. One of the toughest positions, I think, is returning punts. I know some of the players we had got together last night, and Fred Young, who returned punts when I was here, talked about how hard it was. Difficult position to play.
Fred Young did it all, didn't he?
He did.
We'll go to commercial break. Nearly 4 minutes in. Aggie offense back to work in a 7-7 tie in quarter 2.
Target Circle Week, 1 week.
Sunday the 6th.
Target
Big deal.
Circle Week,
Sunday the
1
6th.
week.
Big
Wow.
deal.
It's Target Circle Week.
Get ready for 7 days of big deals.
That's right, Penn. What a big week.
Huge week. Starting October 6th.
Whatever you're into, Mercedes-Benz has an SUV for you. Stylish, powerful, sophisticated. Mercedes-Benz SUVs.
This time I used how, my use they used how. And it's in! Historic goal! I love this game, it's so hard, the one you never ever knew about. I'm on the next level now. What a strike!
It's so on.
Left-footed goal! Clinton! When you tug, give me back what you tug. This time I used how. Great ball! And it's in! Historic goal! Houston scores! Left-footed goal! Clinton!
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus. Sign up today.
Live can't miss NFL games. An ESPN Plus exclusive Monday night matchup. Plus NFL primetime. You can't get anywhere else. And our exclusive expert analysis. ESPN Plus equals more football. Stream now.
Already 197 yards of total offense for this Aggie offense, which is only averaging 209 yards of offense per game. This is their best field position all night, but that won't help. Mosoi Palatuitele with the tackle for loss.
Yeah, he's in the backfield, and there's nothing you can do about that. He made great penetration there. We missed the block on him. He's standing 3 yards in the backfield. No matter what you call, it's going to be blown up.
2 tackles for loss for him this year. Transfer from California, Berkeley, played 2 years there. Loss of 4 on the play. Santino Marucci, the quarterback. Mike Washington, the running back. They fake it to him. Marucci has to run and has nowhere to go. So a good start defensively during this drive for this UNM defense. Bryce Santana, the nose tackle, was in that one. Los Lunas, Nada.
Yeah, I think they see that one coming here. So they see the last time that he took the ball and went upfield that he was wide open. In this case, they're spying him all the while, and there's nothing going on.
Pressure came from the Mike linebacker, El Paso native Jaden Wilson, who's having a good year. Loss of 1. So New Mexico State backed up. It is 3rd and 15. Parks, the tight end, in motion. Marucci throws, and he threw it out of the reach of Mike Washington, who had a couple of receivers ready to block for him.
You know, of all the offense that we've seen this half, I think it's really improved quite a bit. Santino's doing a great job marshaling the offense, except for that last series. It felt like every play, it was just off just a little bit. And we just didn't get the rhythm in there, and so it's 3 and out and got to punt the ball.
So you get the ball to 49, you're pushed back 5 more yards, and now you have to punt. There are no positive plays during that drive, and the punt by Emberly. Did that sneak inside the pylon, or did that go into the end zone? They're going to call it out of bounds at the 5, Danny, it looks like.
Are we seeing a punting?
Wow.
Gosh.
They're going to mark it at the 5-yard line, so a good punt for Eberly. Not quite Aaron Rodriguez, but pretty darn good.
Both punters are just amazing.
This was close. Great placement there on that near side pylon. Yep, right there at the 5-yard line. And now this Limbo offense, they've been sputtering ever since that quality opening drive for them. They will get the ball 1st and half, too, by the way. A run on 1st down. Travius Perry and Taden Barnes there to make the stop. Ball carrier was Jabin Jacobs, high school teammate of Devin Dampier in Arizona. He's a transfer from Arizona State. Second down and 7. Dampier will put Jacobs in motion to his left. He'll stick it in his belly, and he's upended. Ron Travius Perry, the linebacker, with a spear.
Perry coming in there with a great tackle right there. You know, when I was talking with Coach Morris, I said in the last game, you had really gassed our defense and you had to replace the linebackers, and you brought in Ron Perry and Quincy Davis. And I said, I thought they did a great job. And he said, those are good players. They're going to get more time. And this is the more time right there we're talking about. Perry's in a great position, makes a fantastic tackle.
3rd and 6 for the Lobos. Line to gain is the 15 for Dampier. Empty backfield. Watch out for Weissong on 3rd and 6. And now the Lobos have to call a timeout.
Timeout, New Mexico State. They're first. 30 seconds.
Crowd played a role right there. Dampier a little confused about the play call, and now he has to go to his sideline to regroup. You know, the key right now for this Yankee defense, Danny, is just you can't be on the field a ton, and that's been the case in the first 4 games where they start to wear down a little bit towards the end, especially against Liberty, because they were on the field so much, and the offense did not give them time to get their breath.
Right. So even though you do all the conditioning, you still get in a game, and if you're on the field the whole time, it will completely gas you. Liberty, Sam Houston the same way. So we got to figure out a way to get off the field. And so I asked him about that. It's like, well, you know, everything we do, I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to do everything I can to get off the field.
Lobos 1 for 5 on 3rd down tonight, 33% for the year. This Aggie defense trying to get the ball back for the offense. Empty backfield again for Dampier. Will fake the jet sweep. Dampier running for the 1st down. That's the first time tonight we've seen him use his legs. He picks up 11 up to the 20.
He's a tough one. He's their leading rusher, so you got to keep your eye on him and spy him and not let him out. So you still are spying him, and it's still tough to get him down in the go to the line of scrimmage and tackle him there.
66 rushing yards per game for Dampier. Play action. He'll pass as he launches downfield. He has Trujillo, and Trujillo hauls it in. Two defenders there, perfectly thrown, hauled in by Trujillo, the Rio Rancho native.
Great pass, great catch right there. Spun the Aggies around in defense. You can see it on coverage here. He gets spun around, and the minute you get spun around, you know all bad things are going to happen, and it did. You see him after the spin around and trying to catch up and just couldn't catch up.
First down run for Javen Jacobs. Belted immediately by Tyler Martinez as he gets past the 35 down to the 33, picks up a half dozen. Just shy of 60 rushing yards so far for New Mexico. New Mexico State is at 158 on the ground so far. 2nd and 4. Lobos trying to go back in front. Handoff left side to Jacobs. Trying to get by Dylan early, and he is wrapped up there, and there might be a horse collar or a face mask. Right around the 20. Early trying to make the tackle, and there's a penalty marker right there.
You know, it's a great play call where you have all of your offensive linemen going one direction, like if it was going to be a stretch play to the right.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense, number 11. The penalty is half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
So everyone's moving one way, play goes back the other way, and you're kind of out of position, and you end up trying to reach a little bit, and that's what Dylan Early did there. Got his hand back behind the collar. You can see the whole world mowing to the left, and he keeps the ball. It's going to the right, and there's the horse collar right there.
That's an easy call right there in front of the official. That's the second Aggie penalty. We've talked about all the Lobo penalties in the first 4 games. New Mexico State commits a big one here. Lobos from the 11. Dampier still with the ball, and he will angle into the end zone. He got by Quincy Davis. Rushing touchdown number 4 this year for Devin Dampier. Lobos back in front.
Good call right there where you get the Aggies out of position, you stretch them a little bit, and Dampier, we've seen how elusive he can be. In that case, he just stepped right on the end zone. No one touching.
Yeah, we were waiting to see him use his legs. He did so during that drive. He got the first down run and then runs it in for the score, and Trezwicki will tack on for the point after. We compared him earlier to Caden Salter. That shiftiness, has the ability to use the arm and the legs. He doesn't look like somebody who a year ago only made 1 start. This is only his 6th career start, so he's only going to get better and better. And the Lobos have a good one for years to come. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah, if you look back at that drive, that was a great drive right there. But both drives, the first one they scored on and this one, were set up by big, deep balls downfield, right? The first one, there was 3rd and 20. They completed this big pass downfield. In this case, it was to Trujillo who set it up, and Dampier finished it off for them. Good drive by the offense for the Lobos. Now, see if the Ags can answer back.
First touchdown for UNM. New Mexico State responded right away with an 84-yard rushing touchdown for Lorenzo McMillan. So New Mexico State would love something similar. Charles Steinkamp handles the kickoffs for UNM. Trezwicki, the point afters, and the field goals. Kick from Steinkamp. And it is returnable. Monte Watkins, his 2nd return today, has a path. He navigates past the 40. One of the best returns all year for Monte Watkins, past the 45.
Well, that's the problem with kicking it to Monte and letting him set up a run. He is a sprinter, and if he has the lane, he'll find it and he'll make you pay a bit. He slides over, picks that ball up. You can kind of see the lane right there. And there's the green, and he's just cutting it back,
number 48,
showing us his speed.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Now there was a penalty on the play, so that'll push the Aggies back a little further. It's still going to be... No, they're going to push it all the way back to where the penalty was, and that's going to be back at the 15.
You know, these inopportune penalties really cost you. Yep.
So the ball's going to be at the 15 for New Mexico State. So wipe out the great field position and another costly penalty for the home squad. Santino Marucci trying to get back on track. Running back McGowan, who's had a good day. They put McMillan in motion. And the 84-yard rushing touchdown earlier. He's almost hit by the snap. And McGowan has nowhere to go. McMillan had to get out of the way right there, Danny.
Yeah, that's tough. Winning the line of scrimmage is most important if you're going to establish the run. In this last case, the last play, we did not have the line of scrimmage. It moved back 2 yards, and nothing's going to happen, whatever you call. When they're standing in your backfield, not going to happen.
No gain on the run for McGowan, so it's 2nd down and 10. 51 yards on the ground for McGowan. Marucci with 10, 84 in that one scamper for McMillan. Ball is at the 15. McMillan in motion again. Handoff to McGowan, running left and then cuts back up the middle. McGowan had that big play earlier, really hampered because of a penalty. Going to change the complexion of that drive. Now it's 3rd down coming up.
I think Coach is going to stick with it. He's going to keep running the ball, and he said, you know what, we're not going to give up on it. We're going to establish the run. It helps when you get a good first down to start with. In this case, we did not, so it puts you behind the sticks just a little bit at 3rd and long.
3rd and 7. McGowan, the running back. 4 out wide for Santino Marucci. Offensive line's been good. Marucci had a man, he overthrew him. TJ Pride was open near midfield, and Marucci had too much zip on that one.
I think we had 2 guys open. We had both tight ends in the middle of the field and the top of the screen wide open, and we just missed both of those. Good coverage back there, good protection, lots of time, and just too much juice.
Yeah, protection's been really good so far in the passing game for the Aggie O-line with the return of Kanan Yarrow. And Jabin Jacobs will not get a return on the punt by Eberle. A little bit of extracurriculars after the play. This is a heated rivalry. Dampier and the Limbo offense back to work. And they will have the ball at the 40-yard line. So that is where they spot the football after the punt by Eberle.
So how costly was that penalty on the kick return where it puts you back, you don't get the first down, and you don't flip the field very much? A little bit, but not much. Those are costly penalties.
They initially put it at the 40, and now it's placed at the 33, it looks like, for Dampier. Coming off a really good drive, used his legs a couple of times. Sticks it in the belly of Eli Sanders. Sanders will run up shy of the 40 to the 39. Sanders, a transfer from Iowa State, 3 years there, 21 games, 4 touchdowns in his Cyclones career. Under 5 left here in quarter 2. Lobos will get the football to start half 2. Second down, 4 yards to go. Dampier steps back, trying to get away from Noah Arinze. He does. He is slithery quick, and he runs it inside Aggie territory. Arinze had him. It would have been the first sack all year against Dampier, and he just slipped away.
Yeah, missed tackles. Those are the ones that cost you too, because there's no one spying a quarterback. So here you are, pressure. Arinze just can't hold on. Lots of pressure from the side there. Everyone downfield, their backs turned, no one spying the quarterback, extra yards.
Play fake, caught. Weissong, nowhere to go. Sure, we'll see a healthy dose of Weissong the rest of the way. They've targeted him a lot here in this first half already. That's catch number 2 for Luke Weissong. 32 catches, team leader in catches and receiving yards for the year. Was injured in the game against the Aggies a year ago. Play action fake. Dampier with loads of time. Now here comes the pressure, and he has to throw it away. It was DeCarrick Hobbs, the corner, who came and was the first man to get to Dampier.
Great protection for him right there. Nothing he could do.
The quarterback was
Everyone's
outside
covered.
the pocket, and the ball made the
held
line
on as long as he could and just
Second
threw the
down.
ball away. He's a tough one. You can't get to him. Smart quarterback, get rid of the ball
Third
before
down,
taking a
third down.
sack.
Ball is on the Aggie 44, 3rd and 7 for UNM. They've been so-so on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 6. Initially looked like a quarterback draw. Catch is made right at the marker, and it's going to be a 1st down for Wysong. Well, it looked like Dampier was going to run. He threw it at the very last moment and connects with Wysong.
A great play call right there. If you have success running the ball at quarterback, you threaten it. Everyone comes in. You can see Tyler Martinez bit had to come up close to try to shut it down, and he jumps up, tosses it out to Wysong for the 1st down.
2nd catch during this drive, 3rd overall for Wysong, the redshirt junior. Dampier is 5 for 14 through the air for 98 yards. Bruckler, the tight end, in motion. Runs straight up the middle with Rogers. Broke a tackle and then taken down by Sone Alpiu, the Mike linebacker. Good pickup, though, on 1st down. It's a gain of 8 for UNM.
These running backs for New Mexico are really getting to that 2nd level in a hurry. Let's look at the line of scrimmage. Great line of scrimmage block there. He gets to the 2nd level where the linebackers have to make the play. And I think if you end up not winning that line of scrimmage and it gets to the 2nd level, it could be a long night. Look for more action from the defensive line. A little twist, a little something else to keep everyone off their, get mixed up a bit.
Lobos would love a 2-possession lead into halftime. Jumbo package on 2nd down and 2, and they're going to be just short of it. Using that big tight end, Silliman. We've seen that play a lot in short yardage situations for the Lobos, and it's going to be 3rd down and short.
It's very tough to stop. When you get that many people up front there, you're not even sure who has the ball.
And this will be the 2-minute timeout. Lobos trying to take a 2-possession lead. Right now they lead 14-7. 3rd and 1 coming up.
Every year, thousands of nursing home and assisted living residents face neglect and mistreatment. But as an ombudsman, you can be a voice for those who often go unheard. Ombudsmen advocate for residents' rights and ensure quality care. It's an incredibly fulfilling experience. I know because I am one. Whether you're retired or just starting your career, your dedication and compassion will make a significant impact. Learn about volunteering as an ombudsman today at aging.nm.gov/volunteer.
At Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, it's our job to make the complex simple. When your life is sidelined by an injury, surgery, or a condition keeping you from doing what you love, our services aim to get you pain-free and fully functioning. We truly care about our patient outcomes, helping you achieve your goals and improve your quality of life. Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. Love your life.
This is your calling. To be you when they need you most. For life's happiest and most challenging moments. To be the human touch in a world of technology. Join the ranks of those who truly make a difference in people's lives. Make your mark and become the memorial difference. Apply today at mmclc.org/careers.
Today's New Mexico State football game is brought to you by New Senda Credit Union, New Mexico Aging Services, White Sands Federal Credit Union, and by Memorial Medical Center, the official healthcare partner of the Aggies.
Adam Young, Danny Nee back with you just before halftime. Likely 4-down territory for the Lobos. This is 3rd and 1. They go with a jumbo look again, and Rogers runs for the 1st down. It's been a good first half for Nakari Rogers, just shy of the 20, down to the 21. He gets 6.
It's a big offensive line that's just pushing forward there, and there's not much you can do unless you got to get lower than them and create piles in there so he doesn't have room. And got the first down.
Team high 9 carries in the first half for Nikari Rogers, the transfer from FCS Campbell. Lobos will use clock. Under a minute 40 left here in the first half. They will get the ball to start half 2. No turnovers either side. 3 receivers bunched up to the right, and they run it straight up the gut with Rogers again. They're going to try to use some clock here in the final minute plus, and a late flag comes in. It's been a pretty highly penalized first half, really, on both sides. 3 big ones on the Aggies, a couple big ones on the Lobos as well. Starting to get chippy late in the second quarter.
It is. See Tyler Martinez right there in the middle. Both linebackers for New Mexico State have been screaming to the line of scrimmage to plug those holes.
Rory Bernard is a referee tonight, Conference USA crew.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 35. The penalty is half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down. This penalty qualifies for a 10-second runoff. However, New Mexico State, University of New Mexico, has declined that runoff. The clock will start on the snap.
Well, we were just talking about Tyler Martinez. That penalty is on the Albuquerque native, Martinez.
See him right there at the right of your screen coming in there. Maybe just a little bit too extra right there.
Like we said earlier, there's probably a little extra incentive motivation for Martinez here tonight, being from Albuquerque.
The University of New Mexico has elected to enforce the 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock from 1 minute 22 seconds to 1 minute 12 seconds. The clock will start on my signal.
Yeah, I was confused by that initially because if you're UNM and Bronco Mendenhall, you want the runoff,
right?
Because you don't want to give New Mexico State much time if you do score here in moments. Clock moving, under a minute 10 left. Rogers, the running back, motions to Dampier's left. Dampier ran it in from 11 yards moments ago. Rogers running right up the near hash, and he is taken down by Naki Fahina, shy of the goal line. And if you can hold the Lobos to a field goal, if you're this New Mexico State defense, that would be monstrous.
That would be victory for sure. So you see coming off to the right side there, great penetration by that offensive line who's making it very tough there. So you need to figure out how to fire off and create those big piles.
Dampier, wide open space. He faked it, he juked everybody, and he runs it in for his second rushing touchdown in half one. He is smooth, he is slippery, and Dampier now has 5 rushing scores during his sophomore year.
So you see everyone selling out on the give up front, thinking it's just going to be power in there. He pulls the ball out and has an easy walk to the end zone.
Point after from Dreswicki. Wind a little bit of a factor tonight, so Dampier an 11-yard touchdown run earlier to make it 14-7 in this quarter. And now a 3-yard touchdown run to make it 21-7 here in quarter 2. It's been no passing touchdowns. It's been 3 rushing touchdowns for the Lobos. It was Rogers in quarter 1 with a 3-yard rushing touchdown. And now this Lobo offense, 12. They're starting to find a rhythm.
They're 69,
and they're going to get the ball to start half 2.
And I think part of that last series in there, we have, a missed tackle. Forense misses a tackle, could have pinned him. Tyler gets a personal foul in there, that kind of costs as well. Those types of mistakes are really going to cost you, and you can see it in the score of 21-7.
Very little time left, only 22 seconds left. And I would have to think, unless there's a really good return here, we probably won't see the Aggie offense try to do too much with very little time. They do have 2 timeouts to play with. Offense got off to a good start early on the 84-yard touchdown run for Lorenzo McMillan. Not much since. And now you can see the wind blowing that football off the tee. So the wind is a factor. Both punters have used the wind effectively. Monte Watkins had a really good return earlier, wiped away because of a penalty. Steinkamp will squibber. The up man will take it. That's Bryant Jackson, brother of Bryce, the former Aggie secondary man who had a good career here. I don't know, field position's decent. You have 19 seconds left. What do you do here, Dan?
I think you kneel. I think you go back to the locker room, figure out what you need to do to stop this offense a little bit, try to recalibrate your offense and see if we can't create a little bit more and take him out in the second half. I don't know that it's worth throwing up.
Ball is at the 35 with 19 seconds left. 2 timeouts left. Watkins off the right hip of Santino Marucci. He's going to run himself. Marucci takes a hit near midfield. They get into field goal range potentially. We saw Montaño try a 57-yarder that he missed earlier.
New Mexico State, they're second. 30 seconds.
I saw Coach Sanchez walk out there, take that timeout right away. So maybe he's thinking, if I get one more pass downfield here, maybe we do take another long shot at it.
We know Montaño's got a big leg. We've seen that this year. He made a 51-yarder earlier this year. So you probably need to get down to around the 35-ish. Do you need to feel comfortable?
Yeah, I think if they get between the 35-40, he might take a shot, let him have it.
Looks like the wind is at his back a little bit. One timeout left for Tony Sanchez's offense. 11 seconds left here in quarter 2. Lobos will have the football to start quarter 3. Marucci will hand it off to Watkins, running straight up the middle, stays on his feet. Watkins trying to break another tackle. They're in field goal range. Unconventional running the football.
New Mexico State.
With that amount of time left, and they get into field goal range. This could be real momentum into halftime for the Aggies.
Yeah, they could use those 3 points. I think from a UNM standpoint, they played a little soft. They backed off and said, we're not going to let you pass it downfield. Coach said, fine, then I'll just hand it off and let it get as many yards, positive yards running as possible. Clock not in your favor, but he's making as many positive yards as possible. Gets there, quickly call that timeout.
Unofficially, a 47-yarder from Montaño. And it's good. How about that?
Wow.
Well, you feel a little bit better if you're New Mexico State after that drive right there. Kudos to Watkins, and then Montaño finishes it off. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Missed a 57-yard try earlier. He's now 5 for 6 for the year. So it's still a 2-score game, but now it's 21-10, and you feel a little bit different going into the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, getting some points and manners.
Halftime activities coming your way next. It's the 114th edition of the Rio Grande Rivalry.
Target Circle Week, 1 week.
Sunday the 6th.
Target
Big deal.
Circle Week,
Sunday the
1
6th.
week.
Big
Wow.
deal.
It's Target.
Chicken is the meal your craving deserves.
You can't. This is right there. Those are deadly if you're still picking up 7 or 8 yards and you're playing off.
ESPN Plus exclusive Monday night matchup.
Second half kickoff Coming up from Aggie Memorial Stadium, good to have you with us. Adam Young alongside the former Aggie DB, Danny Nee, the 114th all-time matchup in the Rio Grande rivalry. Montano will boot it away, and Javen Jacobs will get a return for the Lobos. Up 11, Jacobs far side of the field, and he is wrapped up. Looks like that was Lorenzo McMillan, who had the 84-yard touchdown run earlier, and now makes a tackle on special teams as we take a look at first half stats presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Mexico. 11 yards a rush for New Mexico State, Danny, but still not much in the passing game.
Yeah, and I think, if we can't shut down the New Mexico rushing attack or their passing attack, I think that makes a difference. And they have some very big plays that really skew the numbers a little bit, but you got to look at the penalties too. You got to keep penalties down.
Pass goes to Wysong. He breaks the tackle of Taden Barnes, and he gets up to the 40. So nice play on the first play from scrimmage in half two for UNM on the play fake, and then Dampier connects with Wysong. Wysong, another good night. 4 catches for him already. Play fake again, this time far side for Ryan Davis, who is drugged down from behind by Wyoming transfer Keontae Glinton.
Those quick passes right there, those are deadly if you're still picking up 7 or 8 yards and you're playing off them a little bit, because it's happening so fast you can't put a rush on the quarterback, so you're going to have to tighten up on that defense and not play back a little soft. You got to get up on there. And I know it's a challenge because they can throw deep, but you got to shut it down and not let them just cut you by 1,000 paper cuts doing down the field.
Play action fake again. Launching it downfield. Dampier has Medford, and he couldn't catch it. He had it in his hands, and it bounced away when he hit the turf at the 1-yard line. Another well-thrown ball by Dampier.
Yeah, that's one that should have been caught for sure. So let's see what's happening up front there. Drop back, lots of time. Breaking coverage. We've seen that many times tonight. We've got to figure out what's going on there and why we're allowing them to run down the field untested so far before we come on there. That's Dylan Early back there.
Remember, it was Medford earlier who made the long catch on 3rd and 20 during the first scoring drive tonight for the Lobos. A direct snap, running right side. They did this earlier. Glinton makes the tackle as his helmet flies off. Soljay Maiva Peters, the running back, is used right there in the Wildcat.
That's a great tackle right there. You don't want him to get the corner on you, because you get the corner, you're going to pick up some extra yards, stays in the field. They're going to go a little tempo there. Got to have sure tackling. More importantly, got to get Aggies set up and in the right position.
Maiva Peters on the catch, running far side of the field. When did he go out of bounds? And it was right at the marker, so enough for a first down on 3rd and 6 as UNM went with tempo.
Get the ball out quick. That's their plan, right? Get it out of his hands. Get it to receiver in open space and let him pick up 5, 6, 7 yards, and they're just moving down the field.
Maiva Peters in the Wildcat again. He's a running back. And he's going to run it straight ahead. He's going to stay on the ground with the football, won't throw it. Runs it straight ahead. Tackle made by Gabe Jones, the nose tackle. So right now the Lobos just saying, stop us in that running game.
And it starts with the defensive line up front. Those are the guys that's got to stand up there and dig their heels in.
Maiva Peters again on the Wildcat. Running right, trying to cut it upfield, and tackle made by DeMarcus Crosby after he slipped away from Taden Barnes. And now Dampier back in at quarterback. This Lobo offense has had a good year, averaging just under 30 points per game. They're creative, high-powered, explosive, unpredictable at times. We've seen that. They mix it up well. But inconsistent at times as well with penalties. Dampier throwing right, and it's broken up. Nick Session, the transfer from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I think for the Aggies, they're going to have to get a turnover of some sort, because he's got lots of time back there. And he's getting rid of the ball quick, too, so he doesn't even need all the time. But the receivers are getting downfield, and we're just giving him too much cushion there. You can see it here. 1, 2, 3, out with the ball quickly. Quick pass to the outside.
Lobos converted on a 3rd and 6 earlier during this drive. 3rd and 6 from the 24. Jacobs in motion. Designed run for Dampier. Slips away, looks back towards the pylon, trying to leap for it. Ball came on the turf. And we'll wait for the official signal. Looks like signal is touchdown. Flags come in. The ball came loose, but they do signal touchdown. Dampier trying to hurl over a defender to get to the pylon. That's when he lost the football, but the signal on the field is touchdown, and then multiple flags came in.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
And it starts up front there. It's the defensive line that can't penetrate, giving lots of time for Dampier to pick his way through there. And there's the leap right over top. Ball crosses the plane for a touchdown.
And now the officials will try to sort everything out because of the multiple penalty flags that came in after the play.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 66. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kick. That is number 66's first unsportsmanlike foul of the game toward disqualification. We'll play for try.
That's Mackenzie Agnello, the normal center who's playing right tackle tonight. I mean, Dampier, so quick. He even looked back after he broke a tackle there. I think he was peeking back at the defender.
No, there was no one there. So let's take a look here. You see the blocking up front there. Knock everyone out. Get to the second line. Linebackers blocked. No one's left because they're all in coverage back there, and you have to come up on the quarterback and try to close it down. By then, it's too late.
Lobos will go for 2. Ayava Peters in the Wildcat. Hasn't attempted a pass yet. This time he does. New Mexico State trying to keep him short, and they will.
The ruling on the field is the runner was short of the goal line. Incomplete.
So the Lobos only get 6, and the lead is 17. We've seen them do that in past games as well.
I think if there's a time you want to pull out all the stops, it would be now. We're going to go for 2. You have everyone set up on one side, and you want to just isolate and just get them to the corner pylon. There's a great tackle in there.
Still a 3-possession game. Even a couple of touchdowns and successful 2-point conversions only get you
number
16.
Number 12 for New Mexico is now wearing number 69.
3-possession lead for the Lobos, and then unsportsmanlike enforced on the kickoff. So New Mexico State needs to take advantage of this return here.
That's always demoralizing just a little bit when you're coming out of halftime, Adam, and you get on the field thinking, okay, we have a good plan. We're going to try to execute the plan and hold them, and they come out and just march down 6, 7, 8 yards at a time, running, throwing both. Very balanced approach to it, and I think it all starts with winning the line of scrimmage. And you win the line of scrimmage, you can do just about all that you want to.
Washington and Watkins around the 20, so that penalty could be big. We'll see if the Aggies can take advantage. Watkins has to back up. Great kick by Steinkamp. So the penalty does not come back to hurt New Mexico. And that's going to be a flag. There was a gesture by a New Mexico player, and that is an easy call for the official who saw it the entire way. And that'll not make Bronco Mendenhall happy. It was Hunter Wiggins who was gesturing towards an Aggie player.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team, number 36. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous correction. The penalty will be enforced from the dead ball spot. That is number 36's first unsportsmanlike foul of the game toward disqualification. First down.
We've seen a lot of unsportsmanlike. The officials are trying to clean it up. It's a rivalry game. It gets chippy. Right. It started to get chippy towards the tail end of quarter 2, didn't it? That's when it started.
I think so. I think the official's dance card there, he's going to have to start writing down everyone. It's like, wait a minute, how many do I have now? There's been a lot. But you're right. They're trying to keep things under control. And let's just get it settled on the field.
So now the ball is at the 40. We'll see if the Aggie passing game can start to get on track. Second straight start for Santino Marucci. TJ Pride in motion. Aggies will hand it off to the freshman on the jet sweep, and he has nowhere to go, far side of the field. Noah Pola-Gates, one of the men there to meet him, transfer from Nebraska, as well as Dimitri Johnson, the senior. Gain of only 1 for Pride. 2nd and 9. A lot of time left early on in the third quarter, but it has to start now if you're New Mexico State. It's a 3-score game. Marucci fakes it to McGowan, and he's taken down for a sack. That's the Mike linebacker, Jaden Wilson, his 2nd sack of the year.
I think he's going to a receiver to the left there. You can see it maybe at the top of the screen, and they just run into each other. And when they do, it falls down. There's no one else in the pattern, nothing he could do with the ball but eat it, protect it, don't turn it over.
Marucci was protected pretty well in that first half by that offensive line, which got a big boost with the return of Kanan Yarrow this week. Still missing Shiaz Pete, the starting left tackle, who's out injured for a 5th consecutive game. Marucci, high throw, good catch. Oh. Cordell David at midfield. That's only his 7th catch this year, and that was his most difficult this year.
No doubt, the 6'3" receiver gets up, climbs the ladder, and pulls that thing down nice. Now tempo.
McGowan on the ground. Aggies had 11 yards per rush in that first half. Now, a big chunk of it was on the 84-yard explosion for McMillan. A good first down run for McGowan as he picks up 7. 2 receivers either side, stacked up, screen pass, low throw towards the shoe tops of David. And that's been a ball that Marucci struggled with. He's had 3 passes on that same play, be low or wide here tonight.
And so now it's starting to matter just a bit more, especially when you have to start climbing back in this thing. You can't walk away with nothing on a play, and he just throws that one and gets away from him low in the dirt. Not receptible.
3rd and 3, likely 4-down territory for the Aggie offense. They need the 40. Marucci's going to run for it, and Marucci has the first down. Trying to protect the football. 3 Lobos sandwiched right around him. Santino Marucci, we saw him use his legs pretty effectively last week against Sam Houston, and he does so here for a first down scamper.
I think the C's open. Look at it right in the middle there. There's no one there. He breaks 1 tackle, and he knows he just needs a few yards to get the first down, and he's just going to keep it and go get the first down and a little more. Tough yards right there.
Jaden Wilson should have had him. Ball is at the 33. Tight end in the right side of the formation is Adam Parks. Motion man Johnson. Washington plunging forward, pushing the pile. Good first down run for Mike Washington. Down to the 27. Danny, you talked earlier this week to me about how important it was getting good yardage on first down this week.
And that's the play right there where we're going to get it. So good zone, inside zone a little bit. Everyone blocks down, and it's Washington picking up those extra, very important first down that leaves you a manageable second down.
Second down and a handful. Isaiah Ruddison, the El Paso native, in at fullback, trying to lead the block for Washington, who spins away from a tackle. And they're going to mark him at the 27, so he only gets 1 yard. 3rd and short coming up. And there's still a lot of time left, so I would think the Aggies would probably kick a field goal if it came to it. It's 3rd and 4 here, but you never know. This could be 4-down territory as well. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. McGowan to the left of Marucci. Now a direct snap to McGowan. The Wildcat plunging ahead. Forward progress to the 25. So he got 2, but he needed 4. 4th and 2 upcoming. What do you do here, Danny?
Well, this is a tough one. You got 7:30. You're down by 3. We haven't scored much, so it looks like coach is going to go for it. And that last Wildcat play, I'm not sure that I care for it as much because there's no one picking up that end, and the end crashed down, and there was nothing to be had there. Important fourth down right here, Adam.
New Mexico State 3 for 5 on fourth down for the year. They need the 23. Marucci pulled it. He throws. Caught by Washington for the first down and more. Washington in the end zone. Touchdown Aggies.
That's how you do a little quick run pass. Get Washington in the ball. Let him pick up some extra yards. Pick up the TD. Nice play right here. You see it coming right at you here. Couple of steps inside. They break on Santino. He dumps the ball quickly to Washington. Washington picks up that outside corner and takes it right to the house.
How about the composure of Santino Marucci with Antonio Harris Jr., the defensive end, screaming in his face on the front side pressure. And they still found a way. If New Mexico State can find a way to come from behind and win this one, we will go back to that 4th and 2 conversion on the touchdown catch for Washington. I think Montaño was waiting for the cannon to go off after the touchdown. Point after to make it a 10-point game. Still in it if you're New Mexico State. A lot of time left. A little over midway through the third quarter. Things are getting chippy. New Mexico State looking for their 3rd straight win against UNM. New Mexico looking for their first win of the year in year 1 under Bronco Mendenhall. 27-17. Third quarter action from Aggie Memorial.
At Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, it's our job to make the complex simple. When your life is sidelined by an injury, surgery, or a condition keeping you from doing what you love, our services aim to get you pain-free and fully functioning. We truly care about our patient outcomes, helping you achieve your goals and improve your quality of life. Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. Love your life.
When we work together, we have the power to create positive change in our communities. And that's exactly what you are doing when you join Community Rewards. Just by using your Nusenda Visa debit card, you can help support education, healthcare, the arts, environment and wildlife, or community services and support. Skip the PIN on your purchases, you'll earn cash back and help fund grants in your community. When you invest in your community, we invest in you.
Nusenda Credit Union, the power of we. Visit nusenda.org to learn more.
It takes a strong foundation to build something that will last. The best foundation isn't always seen, but it is felt. It supports the weight of everything built upon it. With the support of alumni and friends, the New Mexico State University Foundation has been a cornerstone to our institution for over 60 years. Our commitment is unwavering. Be bold and shape the future. Visit us at alwaysanaggie.org.
That day, it was just so hard to breathe. I thought it was my lungs, but turns out I needed open heart surgery. The staff at Memorial is amazing. The doctors took the time to explain things and to be supportive. Without them, I wouldn't be here. And that's the Memorial difference.
Mike Washington with his first touchdown as an Aggie. Santino Marucci his 2nd touchdown pass of the year. And the Aggies really needed it. 27-17 with 7:06 left in the third quarter. Montaño kicking into the wind, and it's through the end zone. A touchback out to the 25-yard line. That was much needed for a lot of reasons. It was 4th and 2. You needed points at least to get the touchdown. Now you feel better midway through the third.
And I know that during the break you said, look, when you get the ball back, you go down there, you score, and you're back in the game. And you got to now muscle up our defense. There's Tony saying, come on, let's go now. Defense, very important. Coach Morris has got to really get that defensive line to kick in and start there. and not let anyone bleed through the secondary.
Mayaba Peters motion out to the left. Dampier at quarterback looking for Weissong. Single coverage. Covered well by DeCarrick Hobbs, but a flag came in shy of midfield. Hobbs is stunned. The officials will meet to chat about it.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 24. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
What do you think, Danny?
I think there's a lot of fighting both ways there. I think there were some coaches on the other side saying, hey, offensive push and defense, little hand jabbing both sides. Not much there, though, really. But it's a costly penalty. That's too bad.
Weissong's already been targeted 8 times. He has 4 catches to pace UNM. 33 yards receiving. He's a good player out of Rio Rancho, Cleveland High School. Was a top recruit a couple of years ago in the state. Dampier on a low snap. Will step up and throw. Receiver turned around late. That was Ryan Davis. Hit his hands, but he was late to turn around. DeCarrick Hobbs in coverage again.
I think that's Hobbs and Crosby back there. Good coverage, but here you have to open up and you have to turn and run and sprint because they're sprinting right through the middle of the zone. You're playing a 2 coverage zone, leaving that middle very soft, and they're just sprinting right down the middle of that thing. Like to see them jump on that a little bit faster.
Hobbs and Crosby, 2 transfers who both came in from Sam Houston, where defensive coordinator Joe Morris was previously. Quick throw to Davis, a really good possession receiver. And he's trying to reach for the first down. He might be just short. I mean, it's right around the marker. Trying to spot it, maybe a half-yard shy. 3rd and half a yard coming up.
Yeah, that's tough when you're playing him soft like you are. Dampier gets the ball and he releases immediately. It's hard to really defend that thing. That's almost a gimme right there. Very tough. We're gonna have to scoop up on him, stay up on him, and not give him that quick pass.
A trio of tight ends in right now for the Lobos. Heavy package. Rogers the run on 3rd and half a yard. He gets the first down. Still on his feet. They'll whistle the play dead. Inside of Aggie territory, down to the 48. He gets 3, moves the chains for the Lobos. A takeaway for New Mexico State during this drive would go a long way the rest of the way.
That would. And these are the drives that when I was talking to Coach Morris, it's hard for the defense because you get on the field, the longer you're on the field, you want to get off, but you're just getting really, it's getting tough, you get tired, and they're just making progress play by play.
Lobo offense has played a clean game with turnovers here tonight. 0 turnovers for them, 0 for New Mexico State. Flag comes in after the catch by Davis. This might be on Weissong. Well, Weissong was the nearest Lobo to it, but Tony Sanchez thinks this might be our New Mexico State.
I think so too. I think they
pass interference. Offense. Number 15.
Wow.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Okay, so it is on Weissong. That's what I thought all the way, but then the first motion was the other way. Tony Sanchez was confused.
Yeah, so they called it there at the top. At your left, your screen, you can see the push off right there. But when they threw the penalty, threw the flag, they were signaling like it was New Mexico State, and I think Coach Sanchez was not understanding what the penalty was, so they got it right.
That's the first mistake Weissong has made all night, maybe all year. He's having a great junior year. Good young player from Rio Rancho. Dampier 9 for 21 through the year, but he has 3 rushing touchdowns. Has really used his legs effectively. Here he goes again, tap dancing, tons of time. Home run ball, and it's caught. Ryan Davis, the UAB transfer. Dampier just had too much time to throw.
Well, that's tough right there. If you do not put any pressure on the quarterback, so let's look at the quarterback. Before that, though, he was standing around, and lots of time when you're a pass defender and the quarterback is standing there, it's almost impossible to maintain your coverage on the receiver because they just go back and forth until they break or turn or something, and a big deep pass cost.
Davis gets 40 on the catch. Run on first down. Tackle made by Josiah Cox, who had 2 interceptions a week ago. Ball carrier was Soljae Mayava Peters. Mayava Peters has been used a lot in this game here tonight. 6'1", 200-pound senior.
Yeah, I think, Adam, as long as Dampier stays back there and we can't get to him, it's going to be hard to shut this offense down. So we got to figure out a way to get to him, to even force it to throw it quickly.
Wysong in motion. They fake the jet sweep to him. Lawson makes the tackle from behind on Dampier. That is such a tough play to defend against because you're worried about Wysong, but then Dampier can pull it and use his legs effectively.
Right, and he pours it in there and goes get 3 or 4 yards, and it's a good 4 yards right there. Comes up 3rd and short.
And this is so smart for the New Mexico offense. I mean, if it's 3rd and short, 4th and short, 2nd and short, they're going to bring in a couple of tight ends and just try to jam it down your throat. And that's what they're going to do again on 3rd and 2 from the 15. Dampier under center. Right back to Rogers. And he muscles past the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Gain of 6. That's so hard to defend. There's a lot of beef up front there for UNM.
There is, and when you're in goal line, everyone's up and every gap is accounted for. If you break the line of scrimmage, you get to the second level in hurries, which we saw.
Under center again. They're going to stick with this. Running left, nowhere to go this time for Rogers. Cox was part of the tackle for New Mexico State. Player slow to get up. Naki Fahina, who was also part of the stop. And Fahina is going to go off. Gabe Jones, redshirt freshman from Dallas, will check in for the veteran Naki Fahina. Medford to the top of your screen. Bottom side Wysong. Tight end is Bruckler. Dampier looking left. Trying to come back to his right. He still hasn't been sacked yet this year. Throws it out of the reach of the tight end, Bruckler, who has 2 touchdown catches this year.
You know, he's very quick, very elusive, so he knows where he is on the field. He can feel the pressure. He knows the sidelines there. He knows no one's coming from there. He peeks backside to know where the pressure is. He sees it and knows he's got another second or two, nothing there, so he throws the ball out of bounds. Very tough to corral that guy.
3rd and goal from the 8. New Mexico State would love to hold New Mexico to a field goal attempt here. Empty backfield for Dampier. Quarterback draw. Dampier's going to finish shy of the goal line. So it's going to be 4th and goal from the 4, and the Lobos will have to settle for a field goal. It's not a complete win, but it's a mini win right there for the Aggie defense.
It's a partial, so if you get any stop and you don't give them 7, you're still in the game. It's just, they got to figure out a way to shut that down a little bit. So down all the way to the almost goal line, and you're able to hold them. Field goal, you're still in it.
20-yard attempt for Luke Dreswicki. Justin Halliday, snap wasn't good, and the hold got there. That was a low snap, and Halliday able to recover, and Dreswicki pours it in. So it stays a 2-possession game. 1:27 left in the 3rd. Lobos up 13.
What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich
is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken, and it's got pickled jalapenos, and it's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet. But either way,
you're getting a winner.
Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Kamala Harris was given one important job as vice president: monitor and control our southern border. How did she do? Did she take the job seriously? Did she do all she could to protect American citizens from an invasion? Did she do anything at all?
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
Here's her grim scorecard: murders, rapes, attacks on children. A 12-year-old girl in Texas, a mother of 5 in Maryland, a nursing student in Georgia, all savagely murdered by those Biden and Harris led into our country unlawfully.
We have a secure border.
Kamala Harris was and is a complete failure at her job. Now, she's asking us for a promotion? Who in their right mind would give it to her? Restoration PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome to Sapphire Lounge by the Club. With craft cocktails, locally inspired menus, and plenty of space to relax. It's what an airport lounge is supposed to be. Chase Sapphire Reserve. Make more of what's yours.
Leonardo da Vinci was a great inventor, but paperwork got in the way. If he'd used the smart buying tools on Amazon Business, he could have worked more efficiently. Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying.
Aggies have lost 3 in a row. Lobos winless. Something has to give tonight here in the Battle of I-25. The 114th all-time matchup. The 10th most played non-conference rivalry game in FBS. Great crowd on hand. We're glad you're with us. Adam Young alongside Danny Nee. Steinkamp will kick off. It's a 13-point game late in the third. New Mexico State will get the football back and try to make it a one-possession game. Over the head of Monte Watkins. Ball will come out to the 25-yard line for Santino Marucci. And Marucci, the Wake Forest transfer, who is 7 for 14 for 73 yards, will start his drive when we come back.
Take pride in your work. The things that you make you. White Sands Federal Credit Union has built something to be proud of right here in the Mesilla Valley, helping generations of people at every step of life. Local people making local decisions, paying attention to the details with all the loan and financial support you need. When it comes to our community, come to White Sands Federal Credit Union, your local credit union.
Every year, thousands of nursing home and assisted living residents face neglect and mistreatment. But as an ombudsman, you can be a voice for those who often go unheard. Ombudsmen advocate for residents' rights and ensure quality care. It's an incredibly fulfilling experience. I know because I am one. Whether you're retired or just starting your career, your dedication and compassion will make a significant impact. Learn about volunteering as an ombudsman today at aging.nm.gov/volunteer.
This is your calling. To be you when they need you most. For life's happiest and most challenging moments. To be the human touch in a world of technology. Join the ranks of those who truly make a difference in people's lives. Make your mark and become the memorial difference. Apply today at mmclc.org/careers.
When we work together, we have the power to create positive change in our communities. And that's exactly what you are doing when you join Community Rewards. Just by using your Nusenda Visa debit card, you can help support education, healthcare, the arts, environment and wildlife, or community services and support. Skip the PIN on your purchases, you'll earn cash back and help fund grants in your community. When you invest in your community, we invest in you.
Nusenda Credit Union, the power of we. Visit nusenda.org to learn more.
Sports Accessories is the official licensed merchandise provider for the Aggies. Check out their showroom in Las Cruces or visit the online store at theaggieshop.com. Danny, what do you need to see from the Aggie offense during this drive?
Well, here's what I like, where Santino came out in the first half and they had spread the ball out and they threw some quick slants in there. I like the quick slants, spread them wide, and that allows you to then come back with Washington, McGowan, maybe McMillan with a big play.
This drive will start from the 25-yard line. They stick it in the belly of Watkins, and he is taken down for a loss. Flag comes in, though. Oso Ipala Tuiteles had a good night. He was the first man to meet Watkins, but a flag came in.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 89. The 15-yard penalty is enforced from the previous spot. First down.
Here he comes right off the edge again. We didn't block the edge, and the edge crushes, comes down quickly, gets his hand in the face mask there.
And if you're Bronco Mendenhall, you're probably thinking right now, the penalty issues better not flare up again, because it's been a decent night compared to the previous 2 weeks.
Right.
Lobos had 17 penalties a week ago to tie a school record. That was number 6 on them tonight. Johnson in motion behind Marucci. Marucci looking left. A lot of time to throw. Throws a great ball. It's hauled in. TJ Pride, the freshman. What a dart by Santino Marucci.
You know, the Lobos have had some big pass plays that set up some touchdowns, and this is our turn here. Santino is there, has a little play action fake. Nice protection in there. Downfield. Breaks open. Lobo almost falls down, but able to pull the ball in and get a big pass in there for TJ Pride, which is nice.
That's the arm we've heard about since Marucci joined the program after spring ball. Aggies will scrimmage from the 10. McGowan to Marucci's left. Play fake. Pass is deflected. Free ball in midair. Lobos intercept it. Incomplete. They're going to say it hit the ground.
Incomplete pass. Second down.
Dimitri Johnson had it in his hands, and it hit the ground as he fell to the ground. That was a free ball in midair.
That was amazing. That's tip drill, too, when that ball's up there. Let's see what happens in there. It looks like hit right off his helmet.
If Marucci doesn't put his head in there.
No, you're right. I was just going to say that's Santino sticking his nose in there trying to break that thing up.
Johnson had the football and lost it because Marucci came in.
The previous play is under review for a potential targeting.
And now they're going to review. Now, remember, the call on the field is incomplete. So there needs to be enough evidence to overturn that call on the field with 11 seconds left here in the third.
Is that Santino that they're going to look at for targeting?
Oh, they're going to check for targeting right there. Okay, so they are not.
Yeah.
The play is incomplete, but they're going to check Marucci for targeting. Have you seen this before?
No, have not. I was grinning and looking at you. It's like, wait a minute, are they gonna call our quarterback for targeting? Let's take a look here. Here it is. Here's the pass off the head or helmet, maybe a hand.
Okay, so the ball is definitely on the turf. Johnson never had it, but they're going to check for targeting on Marucci. Now, if this is targeting, Danny, he's out of the game.
He's done.
And he misses a half
of the next
2 weeks.
That's right.
After the bye week.
Yeah.
And then Parker Awad, the backup quarterback, will have to come in to finish this game. This could be a huge change of events.
Yeah, well, if you're Parker on the sidelines, let's see if he's down there throwing the ball, because now it's like you better get up and start loosening up, because it looks like he was leading with that helmet in there and on a defenseless player.
So they are checking for targeting on Marucci.
After review,
here's the call.
There is no foul for targeting. Second down.
Whoa.
And if you're a New Mexico State fan, that's a huge call in this game, because once again, Marucci would then miss the first half of the next game, which is Conference USA play against Jacksonville State on October 9th after the bye week.
Yeah, and still have another quarter here, and he's starting to move the ball, throw the ball downfield with some confidence. So that'd be a really blow. Just dodged the bullet there. Still, you got to figure out a way to put it in the end zone.
Aggies catch a break twice. They scrimmage from the 10. Two running backs, McGowan and Washington. McGowan makes a man miss. Can't make a second man miss, though. Tackle for loss for Randolph Kapai, the Buck linebacker, transfer from Nebraska.
That's the
I think
end
that's
of the
a
third
give.
quarter.
I think that was a give all day, because if not, Santino would have gotten great yardage in the middle there if he'd have just kept that ball. So it was a give.
Loss of 2 on the play. Third down coming up from the 12. We're back to Aggie Memorial for the start of the fourth after these messages.
You can't just sell in one place at once anymore. You gotta sell in all the places. Combine and conquer with Shopify. You get the best converting checkout on the planet. You get a point of sale squad that's always on point. And you'll be unstoppable when every post is shoppable. Cha-ching indeed. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify.
Whatever you're into, Mercedes-Benz has an SUV for you. Stylish, powerful, sophisticated. Mercedes-Benz SUVs.
I wonder why nobody wants to bounce with me. Oh well, what am I talking about? There's plenty others I haven't even asked yet. Today we're going to play games, sing songs.
Discover imagination with Tony's.
My siblings and I are picky. Finding a home for us was tough, but our agent Joe just got our needs.
Congratulations.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
We went on home tour after home tour, all on our schedule, until we finally got the right one.
Selfie time. All right.
You never guess he's a cat guy.
I had to buy the block for my dog. I want it all for my dog. I had to buy the block for my dog.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it. We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
4 tackles for loss for the Lobos after the TFL for Randolph Kapai, the linebacker. None for New Mexico State. New Mexico State defensively also has 0 sacks in this game. Unable to get to Devin Dampier. Now a big 3rd and goal from the 12 coming up for Santino Marucci, with New Mexico State trying to make it a 1-score game. 3 out wide to the left, 1 to the top side, running back McGowan. From the 12, Marucci looking left, throws left, double coverage, and he sailed it on Cordell David. No flag. And now do you take points, or do you go forward on 4th and goal? It's too deep. It's from the 12, so the Aggies will take points here to start the 4th.
I get that they're trying to get to Cordell, who's a great receiver and have great jumps, but I think he's double, and I'm not sure that he can get to it. And Coach Sanchez is there trying to coach him up a little bit on how to throw that ball. I think he was covered. I think they had 2 people on him. That wasn't going to happen.
29-yard attempt for Abraham Montano from the far hash, and he's been awfully good all year. So he's 2 for 3, missed from 57, made from 47. This one unofficially from 29. So now New Mexico State within 10. And if you're a New Mexico State fan, you've been asking for a while, just get a stop on defense. Easier said than done against Dampier, but now you really need a couple of stops here in the 4th.
Yeah, I think you're down, and this is it. This is 4th quarter time, and I think it's got to start with the guys up front there. So the guys up front haven't had much penetration, and so you got to figure out a way to get in the backfield and create some havoc back there.
And we repeat as well, 0 turnovers on New Mexico, 0 turnovers on New Mexico State. At some point, you feel like one of these teams will get a big takeaway here in the 4th. Antonio will kick off. Rogers and Jacobs back deep. Having some issues with the wind here tonight, blowing that football off the tee. There's Wave the Wonder Dog when you need him.
All right.
He'll retrieve the tee here in moments. The boot by Montano. No return for Jacobs. 383 yards of offense for the Lobos, 341 for New Mexico State. So those are much improved numbers offensively, but right now it's not enough against this Lobo offense, which has scored 30 so far. Dampier 10 for 23 for 181, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but he's run for 70 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Also a touchdown run for Rogers. Can the Lobos extend the lead, or can the Aggie defense get a big stop? Hand off to Javen Jacobs. This running game has been awfully good really since the second quarter for UNM. And they continue to run first, pass second against this Aggie defense.
Well, if you can get 5 or 6 yards on that first down, it's what you want to do right away. It's like set it up where you get a manageable second down right here.
Tight end is Bruckler, lined up wing to the right. 4 receiver look. 2 receivers bunched up to the near side, Trujillo and Davis. Top side, Weissong and the running back Jacobs, who's great in the passing game as well. Low snap again, quick toss, Dampier, caught. Luke Weissong again. So shy of the 45 up to the 43. He picks up 13, first down UNM.
So I see Coach Morris is still sticking to that zone defense. I think at this point in time you got to go man, and you have to start bringing people. I mean, it could mean that you give up big things on the backside, but you just can't let them go down the field, take up time on the clock, and put it in the end zone. So somehow you got to come out of the zone and try to get some pressure on them.
Team high 5th catch for Weissong, who's the motion man right to left. Dampier will change the play with Jacobs motioning to his right hip. Silliman, the tight end. Play fake. Rolling the pocket right. Dampier throws on the move. Connects with Medford. Touchdown saving tackle for Charles. Medford's been a big play man all night.
Most of their big touchdowns have come off big pass plays that have gone down the field there. This one on Charles. It starts with the coverage. I mean, with the protection up front, lots of protection, lots of time. Runs a little post pattern, he's wide open.
Hand off to Javen Jacobs, lowers the shoulders inside the 5-yard line. He's dropped at the 4. Picks up 5 yards. So now it's second down and goal from the 4. 47 yards on that catch for Medford. Transfer from TCU, had a huge year a year ago for the Lobos. Off to a little bit of a slow start before tonight this year during his junior year. He's out of Henderson, Texas. Jumbo package again for UNM. Rogers, the deep back. Handed off to him, trying to find a hole. Crosby got to him first. Second effort for Rogers. Finds the end zone. Touchdown Lobos. Second rushing touchdown for Nakari Rogers. The big boy package again. A couple of tight ends. Really good blocking, helping Rogers navigate his way into the end zone in the second effort.
Yeah, they're owning that line of scrimmage, and when they do, they're able to do that. With jumbo set for sure, but still, when you own the line of scrimmage, you push everyone back and you just push on in for the TD.
And this time, New Mexico will try an extra point. They will not try for 2. Lobos have kept it on the ground for the most part this entire night, but they've also had some big explosion plays through the air. 242 yards passing on just 12 completions for Dampier. Another rushing touchdown, the 5th for UNM, and to Rogers again, 4 yards out.
Where limits end, adventure begins. Where boundaries are pushed
innovation thrives. At New Mexico State University, we empower you to be bold in your actions. Together, we can take new strides to shape the future.
The drive to better myself has been there since I started playing sports. Being competitive is me, that's within me, and when you're at the gym 6 days a week, obviously you're gonna have setbacks. The ultrasound showed it was a hernia. The team at Memorial always assured me that I was gonna receive the highest level of care. Before I knew it, I was back on my 2 feet. Thanks to the team at Memorial, I had no complications and a fast recovery. That's the Memorial difference.
Every year, thousands of nursing home and assisted living residents face neglect and mistreatment. But as an ombudsman, you can be a voice for those who often go unheard. Ombudsmen advocate for residents' rights and ensure quality care. It's an incredibly fulfilling experience. I know because I am one. Whether you're retired or just starting your career, your dedication and compassion will make a significant impact. Learn about volunteering as an ombudsman today at aging.nm.gov/volunteer.
This is your calling. To be you when they need you most. For life's happiest and most challenging moments. To be the human touch in a world of technology. Join the ranks of those who truly make a difference in people's lives. Make your mark and become the Memorial difference. Apply today at mmclc.org/careers.
An extra point miss for UNM, so it's a 16-point Lobo advantage. Santino Marucci back to work in moments with 12:13 left to go. It feels like you got some time if you're New Mexico State, but you also don't have a lot of time here in the fourth quarter, especially with the way the Lobo offense continues to look, posting 36 points with 5 rushing touchdowns. Kickoff into the wind. A head start for Monte Watkins, running left side of the field. Trying to break the tackle of Jacobs, and he gets up to the 30-yard line. He had that near side of the field pretty much wide open if he could maneuver around Jacobs.
It always looks like there's just one guy that you can't get past, and it did that case there. But good return anyway. So see what the offense can do.
It's technically a 2-possession game, but you would need the 2-point conversion on both touchdowns. So a long way to go, and it all starts in this drive right here. New Mexico State needs touchdowns, not field goals the rest of the way. Pistol back McGowan, quarterback Marucci. He's played the entire game. Transfer from Wake Forest after 3 years with the Demon Deacons. Hooks up with Cordell David, his second catch. Had a big third down catch earlier, and he gets up near the 40 to the 39. Gain of 7 for David on first down.
Yeah, I like those quick passes, especially if they're playing off those receivers a little bit. Just if they're giving you 5, just take 5.
McGowan will motion to Marucci's right again. A pass on second down and short, broken up. Good coverage there from New Mexico and nickelback Nigel Williams, transfer from Northwestern.
Number 17, Brian.
4 years at Northwestern.
It's a good ball. He's just well covered there. There's not much you can do.
Pass was intended for the freshman TJ Pride. Pride, the top receiver again tonight. 3 catches, 63 yards. Washington has the lone touchdown catch. It was a 25-yarder on 4th and 2 that led to the touchdown. Play fake, near side, and it's dropped. A lot of daylight for Lorenzo McMillan, who had the big 84-yard touchdown run earlier, and I think he thought about running instead of catching first.
Lots of room there, lots of green. Right through the hands. Should have been caught.
And with almost 12 minutes left, the Aggies will opt to punt, given where the ball is on the field. So on 4th and 3, Eberle will punt it away to Javen Jacobs. And it will bounce into the end zone. Did not get the side bounce right there, and the ball will come out to the 20.
Eberle's punt, touchback.
11.5 left. New Mexico trying to hang on for their first win in the Bronco Mendenhall era. Dan Beer back to quarterback when you come back.
Target Circle Week, 1 week.
Sunday the 6th.
Target
Big deal.
Circle Week,
Sunday the
1
6th.
week.
Big
Wow.
deal.
It's Target Circle Week.
Get ready for 7 days of big deals.
That's right, Penn. What a big week.
Huge week. Starting October 6th.
The moments along the way define who you become, the legacy you craft. Embrace the journey. It sets you apart. Dig deeper, rise up, and show the world what you're made of. The clock is ticking. You're up.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it. We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
I wonder why nobody wants to bounce with me. Oh well, what am I talking about? There's plenty others I haven't even asked yet. Today we're going to play games, sing songs.
Discover imagination with Tony's.
I'm on the next level now. It's so on.
Aggie head coach Tony Sanchez said earlier this week that a win for either program could really ignite their season. Aggies looking for their second win of the year. Lobos trying to get that first win of the season. Both teams will have a bye week coming up. Lobos won't have to play again until October 12th in Mountain West play against Air Force. This is a look at their upcoming schedule at Utah State and at Colorado State after that. So conference play for the Lobos and then conference play for New Mexico State coming up as well in Conference USA. The Aggies will have a bye week and then they start those midweek games in October, Danny, where you're playing on Tuesdays or Wednesdays in CUSA play. 5 rushing touchdowns for the Lobos. 3 from the quarterback, Dan Beer, 2 from the running back, Rogers. Running back here is Rogers again. Muscles his way up for a gain of 8 yards. Strong run by Rogers, who's been impressive tonight.
Yeah, it's very tough, and their running game is solid on first down. If you can pick up 6, 7, 8, your second is short already, and then you can really take some shots downfield and do almost anything you want. So again, it starts with that line of scrimmage, and who owns that line of scrimmage?
16 carries, 70 yards for Rogers, who came in with 16 carries, 52 yards for the entire year in the first 4 games. It's been more Rogers than Sanders and Jacobs, which it's been flipped earlier this year in the first 4 games. Rogers, the deep back. This is just big boy football here with UNF. First down for the Lobos. And you love to see this if you're a Lobo fan. They have the ability to do this and kind of chew clock and just run the football.
Right, so they're in a position where they're ahead. They own the line of scrimmage, so why not just run it and use the clock?
Marucci's thrown for 130. Dampier's thrown for 248. The 2 quarterbacks here tonight for these 2 programs. Bronco Mendenhall, he's been a winner wherever he's been. 7th most wins among FBS head coaches overall. Looking for his 136th career win as a collegiate head coach here tonight. Running back is Sanders, and this would be one of his bigger ones as well because it would be his first at New Mexico as the head coach. It could jumpstart the Lobos the rest of the way, and it's much needed here in the 5th game against a rival. They've played pretty well at times this year. They've had a grueling schedule with 2 Power 4 programs. And a lot of folks will say they probably should have won that opener against Montana State when they led by 17 relatively late. And trying to hang on here, leading by 16 with 9 1/4 left. Play clock inside of 10. Dampier botches the handoff, but he jumped on it. And that is what New Mexico State was looking for, but they couldn't get to the football quick enough, and Dampier pounces on the football.
When you're having a good night, it doesn't matter what happens. You get the bounces. Look at the bounce. Does it come to him? Yes, it does. Maybe we should have been jumping on the ball, but good recovery right there.
New Mexico State had that a week ago against Sam Houston, where the ball just wouldn't bounce their way defensively. Almost had a couple of takeaways. Had 2 interceptions a week ago, but could have had a couple of fumble recoveries. 3rd down and 6. They fake the jet sweep to Weissong. Wide open was the tight end Bruckler, and Dampier rushed the throw. Bruckler had nobody around him at the 45.
Yeah, a little concerning because we've seen quite a few times tonight where we've had receivers running in the backfield, and it's just a blown coverage. This is a blown coverage, right? Good play execution, brings everyone up, and just misses a pass. He's wide open, no one's there. Aggies didn't even know he was around.
Maybe he didn't even rush the throw. I think it was just a poor throw there by Dampier, and he's very mad at himself. He's banging his helmet right after he missed that throw. Rodriguez with the punt. TJ Pride will return it. In between the hashes, navigates to midfield. So Tony Sanchez opted to punt on the previous possession on 4th and short. Turns out to be a good decision.
Yeah, that was a great decision.
UNM, and,
right.
And now you have some time left with 8:21 left.
And you got to put something together quickly, though, right? So now the clock is not your friend, and you got to make sure you start getting some plays, some big chunk plays downfield.
Ball is just shy of midfield at the New Mexico State 49. Big drive for Marucci. The tight end parks in motion. Lobos blitz, runs straight up the gut for Washington. He spins down to the Lobo 45 as he gets 6. It's been a good night for the running game. Over 8 yards per rush. I know it's skewed a bit by the McMillan 84-yard run, but overall it's been a pretty good night.
Yeah, they've shown, Coach said he wanted to come out and run the ball, and he has. He's done quite well running the ball, especially if you can have some quick passes like he did early on in first half. Opens up that run, really nice.
2 running back look for now. Washington to the right. McGowan will motion to the right. Marucci hit hard as he throws. It's caught by McGowan. Bounces off a Lobo. Stays on his feet inside the 30. He's still on his feet inside the 25. And Marucci was absolutely blasted on the throw.
Way to hang in there, Santino, and get the ball out to McGowan. And how about his determination once he has the ball? He's bouncing into everyone, spinning. It's like, if you did not tackle me, I am not going down. Let's take a quick look. Here's the blitz. It's coming. Santino takes a pop, low throw, and he still is able to hang on to it. And then after that, it's yards after catch, and I'm just going to keep motoring away.
Player down for New Mexico State is P.J. Johnson. It sure looks like what we've seen this year. McGowan is going to have the chance to play at the next level on Sundays. I mean, he is a high-level running back. He doesn't need a lot of breathing room. Yeah. He's pretty good in the passing game as well.
I think he was running over everyone, and I think he also ran over PJ on that one as well.
Yeah. It's a 21-yard explosion on the catch and run for McGowan, and you said it perfectly, Danny. Way to hang in there if you're Santino Marucci. Front side pressure got to him, but still put it on the money for McGowan to do something with it. There's time left. A little over 7 minutes left. 16-point game. So you can call it a 2-score game, but you would need the 2-point conversion twice. And now a flag comes in.
Illegal substitution. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Yeah, there was some confusion there in the Aggie bench area. McGowan was late to get off, and it's going to be costly as it pushes the Aggies back 5 yards. So the ball is back to the 29-yard line. Play fake. Marucci with time to throw towards the end zone. And that's going to be pass interference. Cordell David was tangled up with 2 Lobos, I believe. Noah Paula Gates, the star corner, was one of the guys there, number 2 in white.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That will push New Mexico State all the way down to the 14-yard line. It's called on Paula Gates, the former Nebraska Cornhusker.
You know, it's double coverage, and he's still throwing the ball in double coverage. I think we need those big chunk plays there. He's trying to get across. You can see he's trying to make his way across the back of the end zone or towards the end zone like in a post pattern, and it just got held up.
And the Wildcat, Mike Washington, the running back, takes a direct snap, plows ahead, trying to get down to the 10. He does. He gains 4 on the first down run. So now we've seen McGowan and Washington in the Wildcat.
It's a good drive. They need to put it in the end zone.
Cooper Sheehan, a backup offensive lineman, is now in the game as an eligible receiver. He's going to wear number 85, and he is eligible to catch a pass here. Pistol back Washington. Handoff to Washington. Follows his blockers, and he navigates into the end zone. 10 yards away. Washington had a receiving touchdown earlier, and he runs this one in for his first rushing score in the Crimson and White.
Nice play by Washington right there. So let's look at the blocking up front there. Bring extra linebackers, extra tight ends in to block up front there. You manage hat on hat, create a seam, let him get to the second and third level, and Washington gets it done.
And now this is big. Aggies, of course, will attempt a 2-point conversion to make this an 8-point game. Marucci will motion Parks. Looks that way, throws, low catch. Did he get in? He did.
Wow.
Adam Parks. He hasn't caught a ball his entire career. The redshirt freshman from Kansas City, Kansas, earns 2 the hard way.
How about that catch where you have to go down low? A lot of times we call you got to climb the ladder to get to the ball. In this case, you have to get down low, make sure you pull it off the deck. He does. Rolls in, and they count it.
Last week it was a career day for redshirt freshman tight end Jerry Lydia. They're going to review it just to see. And now today, Parks for now makes the catch for a 2-point conversion. We'll see if it holds up. It's a huge call. I mean, if it holds up, then you're looking at an 8-point game. If it doesn't, then it's a 2-possession game for sure. I think his knee is down, Danny, when he makes that catch shy of the goal line. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be.
You felt that way.
Yep.
You felt that way when we were watching it live, but they signaled it was good, so that was the call in the field. We'll see if they change it.
I think he's down right there.
Determined that the runner was down short of the goal line. The try is unsuccessful.
So instead of what we would call a 1-possession game, even though it would be an 8-point game, it's a 10-point game. You only get 6 instead of 8.
It's still a touchdown. Field goal brings in overtime. There's a lot of things that can happen there, so it's still, they're still in it. Starts with the defense now. Defense got to dig their heels in and get a stop.
It's a good play design. Parks just couldn't quite stay on his feet. It was a low throw, as you pointed out, Danny, and just couldn't quite stay in there. Montanio, the kicker. Looks like New Mexico State will try an onside kick with 6:09 left. And it's handled nicely there by Nigel Williams, who smartly just falls down to the turf. This New Mexico offense has been impressive again. 475 yards of total offense, so now 440 plus for them in 4 straight games. And we can see why they're averaging almost 30 points a game with Dampier and this explosive offense, which has turned to the running game for the most part here in half 2. But there's been explosion plays in the passing game mixed in. The Aggie D-line stands tall on that run. It's going to be for a half-yard loss there for Nakari Rogers.
And it's just clock now, right? So clock management, good stop. You still have to stop them if you're the Aggies. You got to put a hat down there and don't give them any extra yardage. Make them earn each first down as the clock ticks away.
So loss of a half yard on the run. Sanders will motion out wide as a wide receiver. So an empty backfield look for Dampier, who throws, and I think he might have hit the back of Keontae Glinton. Glinton was turned around. The ball, I believe, hit him in the back.
I think if Glinton would have been looking back towards the quarterback, he might have been able to pick that. There's a quick toss outside there. So let's see it right here. Quick toss outside, little out pattern. I'm not sure who he was throwing it to. Kind of in between both.
Yeah, I guess Sanders, it did not hit Glinton in the back, but it almost hit him in his hands. Just wasn't ready for it. 3rd and 10. Sweet play. Big run for Javen Jacobs. He gets by Glinton, and he runs it in. 49 yards away for the Lobo touchdown. Their 6th rushing touchdown in the game.
Yeah, that makes it tough right there. That may just seal the deal. Big play, get the end there. Everyone sucked in. There was nothing, no one left but one cornerback, as you can see at the bottom of the screen there. He was blocked, and it's an easy walk-in.
Another really good play design by the Lobos. This is a tough offense to defend against. Unpredictable. They mix it up well. Point after from Drizwicki. This one is good. So it is a Lobo lead of 43-26 now, as they put that point up on the scoreboard. 43-26, 17-point game. If you get a stop right there,
you have a
shot.
shot.
Force the Lobos
Yeah.
to punt.
Right.
You got a shot.
Now wearing number 69.
And now it's a 17-point Lobo lead, and things are starting to dwindle away if you're New Mexico State. And it looks like Bronco Mendenhall and UNM could be well on their way to their first win of the season.
He kicked the ball onside, so this is a gamble. Coach knows it, and so if they get it, they're going to be in a short situation. But you still have to depend on the defense to make a stop no matter what, and just couldn't do it. So tonight, the defense, I think that really that line of scrimmage we just couldn't hold, and it's made a difference.
Lobos almost averaging 7 yards per rush. They've run for 278 now. Returnable again for Watkins around the 6. Watkins near side hash past the 20 up to the 23-yard line. 6 rushing touchdowns. It feels like, because of how many big plays in the passing game Dampier has had, you would figure he has a throwing touchdown. He doesn't. It's been 6 rushing touchdowns for UNM, and Dampier is still thrown for 248.
Right, but he's had some big passes downfield though, right? So we've had some breakdowns, and he's made some good balls, made good passes downfield, so he's thrown the ball quite well. They just hadn't thrown one in the end zone.
Santino Marucci still the quarterback with 5 and change left. Need a quick touchdown for sure if you're New Mexico State here. Nowhere to go for McGowan. Tackle made there by Tyler Keeney. Too slow to get up. Los Lunas, New Mexico native. There's so much poise and confidence with that man right there, Devin Dampier. Like a seasoned vet, even though he only made one start a year ago, and this is his first year as a full-time starter. Marucci dropping back to throw. Gets by Kapai, and he throws it over the head out of bounds of Cordell David. 3rd down and 10.
Timeout for an injured player.
Injured player right now, so a timeout is called. Now that injured player for UNM at midfield. Looks like Noah Abinger. I believe that's number 1. Hard to tell by the jersey. Yeah, it is Noah Abinger, the safety. Team leader in tackle is coming in. Transfer from San Diego State, where he played 25 career games for the Aztecs. So he will head off to his sideline on the far side of the field. 3rd down and 10 coming up.
You know, and I think Santino's had a better game than his first game. I mean, we're a little bit behind, but I think he's coming out with a little more poise. I think he's a little more control of the offense, made some good throws downfield. We just needed a few more of them. But he's done a good job back there.
And I think anybody could tell you, too, the record for UNM coming in deceiving. That was not an 0-4 football team coming in. 2 Power 4 opponents. They played Auburn tough for a while, played Arizona tough for a while. Probably should have defeated Montana State in the opener, and then a penalty play game against Fresno State a week ago. Cordell David makes a man miss. He's had a good night tonight, just shy of the 40, up to the 38. Gain of 14 for a first down. That's his 3rd catch. That's a good sign for this offense going forward. The best game David's had all year. Fresh set of downs for Marucci, rolling right, throwing it downfield, single coverage. It's caught out of bounds by Jarick Lowe. Covered nicely by Paula Gates. Danny, I think a big part of Marucci's improved play this week, not only is he 1 week more experienced, but also, too, you have to keep in mind Kanan Yarrow wasn't playing last week, right? I mean, the offensive line's been better with Yarrow in the game this week.
Yep, it makes a difference when you get your center back.
There's a good chance after the bye week, the Aggies will get left tackle Shias Pete back for the first time all year from injury, and that would be big news. Pocket holds. Marucci, Jarick Lowe overthrew him. Had him right around the 6, and Lowe just could not get to the football.
He had him by a step and a half.
Roughing the passer. Defense, number 17. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That is on Okiki Olorun Funi, transfer from Weber State out of Clovis, California, called for roughing the passer. Alan Ortiz in at wide receiver right now. Hasn't been used much this year. Bottom side of your screen, number 81 in crimson. Handoff goes to Washington. Washington inside the 35, breaks a tackle, lowers the shoulders at the 30. And he's really coming on here in the 4th, Danny.
He has. We run the ball well. Had some good ones. We just get behind to score a little bit and had to throw the ball a little bit more. But Washington has a good night. Seth McGowan's had a good night. I mean, there's some good positives.
Going into the year, this is how New Mexico State thought they could run the football, with Washington and McGowan. Sprinkle in Watkins, and tonight McMillan as well for his 84-yard touchdown run. It helps out the passing game for sure when you can effectively run the football. Play action fake to Washington. Marucci throws out of the reach. Parks, the tight end, through his fingertips. High throw, but he's a big target at 6'4", 245.
He is, and I think if you look back at it here, this is a good. It's not a bad ball, maybe a little bit more, but got to get up there and try to pull that down. That's an important play right there.
It's a 17-point lead for New Mexico, so it's a 3-possession game right now, with 3 and change left here in the 4th. Hand off to McGowan. McGowan inside the 25. McGowan near sideline. Running hard again, all the way down to the 15.
And there's just no quit in that, right? So once he gets out there, it's like running angry. He's getting in front there, and if anyone wants to step in front, he'll just step on you and keep going. Great running back there, looking downfield, keeping his eyes downfield, seeing where the open space is to the left. He cuts to the left and just grinds away.
15-yard gain for McGowan. He has unofficially run for 74 yards on 11 carries tonight. Marucci throws it in the end zone behind Cordell David. And yeah, Danny, he had him open.
He had him.
Cordell had a receiving touchdown against the Lobos 2 years ago, and nothing he could do about that one. He tried to rearrange where he was going. Second down and 10 from the 16. Marucci rolls out of the pocket, has running room, so he's going to tuck it, and he's going to run into the end zone. Got a block up field for Monte Watkins. Santino Marucci, a rushing score, 16 yards away.
Nice. And part of that is keeping it alive with his feet. See the protection there? Gets outside the pocket, sees that everyone's downfield, everyone's back is to him, so he takes the ball and just takes it himself.
And he's not afraid to take a hit. I mean, he will lower the shoulder pads and take a hit. He did so there at the goal line. And now Montano to make it a 10-point game. Then he'll have to try an onside kick for a second time after this. Yeah, there's a lot to be happy about and positive about going into the bye week regarding the offense. And regarding the defense, Danny, I think it's hard to gauge how much of it is the Aggie defense or how much of it is a pretty good Lobo offense.
It's a pretty good Lobo offense. They've done quite well. I mean, maybe there is some with defense. We've got to get some players in the right spot. A lot of breakdowns that I'd like to see cleaned up in terms of, well, this guy kind of snuck through, and all of those things matter. There's some penalties that hurt us at some times there as well. But, yeah, I think defensively they're there. We just got to get it cleaned up even more. Offensively, I think Santino is coming to his own there. Like to see that. He's going to put points on the board all through the year, so that'll be a great help.
This is the most complete offensive game New Mexico State has played this year,
even
going back to the opener against SEMA.
I think so.
So the Aggies will have to try an onside kick, and if the Lobos recover, they can chew the clock down and head back to Albuquerque with their first win against New Mexico State since 2021. And for the second time, it's Williams to handle the onside kick. So that will all but do it. Clean game for the Lobo offense, and turnovers-wise, a clean game for the Aggie offense. No turnovers either side. The officials did a pretty good job of cleaning up the game in the second half when it got chippy. 15 combined penalties in the game, a number of unsportsmanlike penalties, which is what you usually see in a rivalry game. Bronco Mendenhall is going to win a lot of games in Albuquerque, and I think they're going to win a handful of games at least this year. I feel like there's a lot left in the tank for that Lobo team. They're going to compete in the Mountain West this year. Dan Pierre will hand it off to Rogers, trying to run through Keontae Clinton and DeMarcus Crosby. A lot of coaches will say, we want to win the game up front, and if we can win the game up front, we'll win the game overall. And tonight, the Lobos are winning the game up front, running the football.
They have that line of scrimmage, the offensive line of scrimmage. They own it, and so with that, there's a lot you can do. You can pass, you can continue to run. I think they used the run to set up the pass nicely, but they've had a complete game, both running and throwing the ball.
2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout. 43-33. Nearly 540 yards of total offense tonight for UNM. They'll try to finish it off when we come back.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkout. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify.
Let me get this straight. You're saying Boost Mobile is now a major network?
Yes, but better, more affordable.
Yeah, write that down.
You're telling me the new Boost Mobile's got 5G towers?
Thousands and thousands, actually.
And we've also got nationwide coverage?
99% of the country.
Where's the 1%?
Your mom's house.
Stop bringing up my
And
mom.
we're proud to announce unlimited talk, text, and data starting at just $25 per month forever.
Strict dress code.
You shut up. Why do you keep knocking people out? You should get voted sexiest man of the year. We're back! How does Tom Cruise do this? My creator has found us. We have something it needs. Betty, I'm with you to the end. Now that's horsepower! October 25th.
Great to have you with us tonight from Aggie Memorial Stadium, the 114th all-time matchup in the Rio Grande rivalry. Lobos will hang on for a victory. They have the football out of the 2-minute timeout. They lead by 10, and Bronco Mendenhall is going to pick up his first win as the head coach of UNM. Former head coach at BYU and Virginia. First season as the UNM head coach. As part of this rivalry, 98-02 as the defensive coordinator. He has the 7th most wins already among FBS head coaches, and the Lobos will just run out the clock. They're going to run the football here with Rogers, and if you're New Mexico State, you want to keep him out of the end zone. You don't want to break down here. The Lobos just try to run out the clock. They get a first down on that run by Rogers. He's one of the MVPs tonight for UNM.
New Mexico State. They're first. 30 seconds.
Sanchez will use a timeout here with 1:54 left. Rogers, 20 carries, 85 yards before that run right there, and a couple of touchdowns. And he's not somebody we were really talking about coming into the game. It was Sanders and Jacobs that gained more attention in the backfield for Bronco Mendenhall.
Yeah, I think they've just had a great running game set up, and really just Rogers has just been able to utilize everything that's in front of him. They win that line of scrimmage, big holes there, and he's just pouring it on.
He's at 93 now, so just shy of 100. Jacobs with 80 on the ground. He had 50 of those on one play. And Dampiers running in the end zone 3 times, 70 yards on the turf for Dampier. He's thrown for 248. Right back to Rogers. Gets away from a shoestring tackle, and Rogers is going to run in the end zone. So a 29-yard scamper on the touchdown run for Rogers to put the exclamation point on for UNM.
That makes it tough right there. Putting one right on the end. But we weren't there. We didn't make the play. We didn't make any tackles. And with that, you can't ask them not to go into the end zone. Miss a tackle there, miss a tackle there. Can't spin out of one there, and there's no backside help, and he walks in.
Josiah Cox almost had him on a shoestring tackle, and Rogers was able to squirt away and then runs it in. Drizwicki the point after. And he tacks it on. Yeah, you felt good about a lot of things going into the bye week, but then UNM pushes it in for the touchdown right there, and it changes your mindset a little bit.
Yeah.
Now you do have some time left for the offense to have another crack at it with 1:46, but
yeah, from a coaching perspective, the things that you don't want to happen is that, yeah, okay, so you're not going to get the win. We know that. But there's no, you can't quit. You can't just give up. You can't not do the things you're coached to do. And we just kind of lost our right at there, in there.
And it
Number
continues
12 for New
a
Mexico
really
is
good
now wearing
night
number 69.
in the running game for UNM. They are now at 324 officially on the ground. And this is not a New Mexico State defense that for the entire year has struggled against the run. You go back to the Liberty game and they held the run in check until late in the fourth. They really shut down SEMO in the opener, struggled against Fresno State, and struggled in the first half, especially against the run last week against Sam Houston, but not like this. Steinkamp will kick off with 1:46 remaining. From the 4-yard line, Monte Watkins changes directions, going near side of the field, gets a big block from Bryant Jackson, and then gets struck down. That's going to be horse collar on UNM and Paula Gates.
Man, I'd like to see him get that corner. I wanted to see the speed that he can show if he can get out there and just has to get past that guy. It's a horse collar. That would have been a great sprint to watch.
Personal foul, horse collar, kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
This has been his best game returning kicks.
Go.
I feel like Watkins is really starting to get the hang of it, a little shaken up after the return. Yeah, it sure feels like, Danny, he'll crack one or two by the end of the year.
Right. I think it's a great idea to put him back there, get him more touches with the ball, and get him running in open space.
It gives you that Jason Huntley feel at times where you feel like he's going to break it loose for a touchdown. So a minute 38 to play with. New Mexico State already inside Lobo territory as they scrimmage from the 49. Trying to lead with a good taste offensively. Hooking up with Johnson is Santino Marucci, so P.J. Johnson with the catch. That's only his second catch tonight. And a new set of downs for Marucci. Statistically, the best game of the year for Santino Marucci. Almost had a couple of interceptions, but none in the stat sheet tonight. Drops back to throw on 1st and 10. Trying to connect with Johnson again. And threw it out of his reach near the goal line.
Yeah, I think that's one, if you miss, you're going to miss wide into the outside towards the sidelines, which he did. Santino's just looking very relaxed back there. It looks like he really has his wherewithal in terms of the offense and what we're doing there. They posted 33 points. That's pretty good. They're moving the ball. He's run the ball. He's thrown the ball well. I think he's had a very good game.
And these reps for him in game action, despite the score, they're good for him down the stretch. He needs them. Hasn't played a lot of football on the field during his career. Whistles a pass near side that is caught. That is Alan Ortiz, his first catch of the season. He's been used more here tonight, and he makes a nice catch. That'll move the chains for a first down.
Let's take a look at this. Here it is. Santino getting a little pressure. He rolls out of there, but bullets that ball downfield.
Aggies will scrimmage for the 25. And the play is blown dead right away. New Mexico State penalized 6 times, UNM 10 times. Referee Rory Bernard says, relax, I'll have the call here in a moment. This Conference USA crew has done a really good job tonight of keeping everything under control. Not easy to do in a heated rivalry.
Offside, defense, number 3. 5-yard penalty, still first down. The clock will start on my snap.
Seems like a long time to call the offsides there, wouldn't it? It was like, what else was going on there?
That's our safety, David Murphy. Ball is pushed up to the 20. Empty backfield look for Marucci. And he sails it on Cordell David. He's done that twice in the same spot. Flag comes in again. It's in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer with targeting. Defense, number 89. The penalty is half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down. The foul for targeting is under further review.
And this is a big call for New Mexico going into their next game after the bye week against Air Force, because if this is indeed targeting on Tuitele, he would be out for the first half in a couple of weeks against Air Force. And that's the one blemish right now, Danny, for this Lobos team is they are penalized a ton.
Right.
And against good teams, you can't get penalized 12 times here tonight, and that gives them 57 for the year and 45 in the previous 3 weeks. It's hard to win football games, especially on the road when you do that.
I'm all for being aggressive. I'm all for playing with your hair on fire defensively. But at some point in time, you do got to know where you are in the game, right? So you're up. This isn't a time. This isn't where you're going to make a big difference, and you got to make sure you just pull back just a little bit.
Tuitele, the sophomore from Aurora, Colorado, transfer from California, Berkeley. He's had a good game overall tonight, but this would really stink for UNM if it's targeting.
There is no foul for targeting. Number 89 may remain in the game. The 15-yard correction, the half the distance to the goal penalty for roughing the passer will be enforced. First down.
And just like the call that was reversed earlier on Marucci for targeting, that's big looking ahead towards the next game for New Mexico. All right, so the ball is placed at the 10-yard line. First and goal from the 10. Marucci running, nowhere to go, slips away. He needs to be careful.
Yes.
You don't want to take a big lick here late in this contest when you know it's out of reach.
And there's no reason.
New Mexico State, they're second, 30 seconds.
And he's a gamer. We've seen that early on in his career. He's a tough guy. He wants to win. He wants to be great. And he's doing everything he can right now to get it back in the end zone and leave with a positive result, at least with how you finish the game here tonight.
Right, but again, once again, you have to remember where you are in the game. So if it gets down to this and you see that you're blanketed, there's 4 guys around you, there's no use trying to fight for 1 more yard, and that's when the injuries happen. So just fall down, take the sack, take the tackle for a loss, and then go to the next play.
And a big part of his growth right now, and we've seen the growth from last week to this week, he is coachable. You watch him with Tony Sanchez, and it's yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. He's trying to do those things that Tony is coaching him on to have success. So now the ball is at the 12. Second and goal after the sack. Marucci hit as he throws. Cordell David trying to climb the ladder, and pass interference is going to be called on New Mexico. And Marucci took another big hit. And he is slow as he walks around, heading back towards the huddle. It's going to be our David Murphy.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3. The foul occurred in the end zone. Ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Pretty good ball thrown there by Marucci. He took a big hit, but a legal hit by Jaden Wilson. I mean, it was just a good tackle by Wilson. Give him credit.
He's going to have a little time in the trainer's area tomorrow, Santino. He's taking some pops.
So now it's first and goal from the 2. Washington, the running back, already has 2 scores in the game. Make it a third. Second rushing touchdown for Washington. He also has a receiving touchdown. And then a late flag comes in after the play. This is still chippy despite the score. This was after Washington went in.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 55. That's his first unsportsmanlike foul of the game toward disqualification. The penalty will be enforced on the kick. We'll play for try.
Chicago native, transfer from FCS Indiana State, who gets called for the unsportsmanlike. And it's not just penalties overall for UNM, a lot of unsportsmanlikes in the game as well.
Number 96, his helmet came off, and he must leave for 1 play.
So that will be a talking point again, I'm sure, for Bronco Mendenhall. I'm sure that's been a big talking point the entire year. Breakout game for Mike Washington. 2 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. He now has 13 carries for 54 yards and a 25-yard touchdown catch. New Mexico State makes it a 10-point game. So looking ahead towards the future, Danny, down the road, and you have a lot of conference games left. You're starting to get Washington and McGowan both playing well in the backfield, and that offensive line is getting healthy. That's a positive towards the future.
And you have a quarterback that's coming into the game, and his play is getting better. Santino's looking very relaxed back there, running the ball, throwing the ball. I think it's all coming together. If you can get some of those offensive linemen back, I think you're going to be able to start winning some games. So the offense is on track. Got to get some things cleaned up, but they're there. Great calls, some different calls that I really like from our offense this tonight. Defensively, we got to get some things cleaned up, Adam. We can't bleed for 50 and expect to win games.
To put this into perspective, the offense only had 18 combined points in the previous 10 quarters of football, going all the way back to that Liberty game in game number 2. They've scored 40 tonight, and they've accumulated almost 500 total yards. So there's improvement there. And you can point to Marucci being a little more seasoned game to game, and the running backs playing well with a healthy offensive line. Onside kick will roll out of bounds, and of course the penalty flag comes in because of that. That's the reason for that marker. Wave the Wonder Dog will come out to retrieve the tee, always a fan favorite. I think both fan bases can appreciate that.
Illegal kick out of bounds. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty from the spot where the ball went out of bounds. First down.
So now UNM can take a couple of knees here and head back to Albuquerque with their first win since 2021. Much different game than the previous 2 years, though, Danny. I mean, it's kind of felt more like 2021 a little bit. That one wasn't this high scoring, but similar to this.
The ball went out of bounds at the 35-yard line. The ball should be placed at the 40. First down.
So the officials just making sure that the ball is spotted where it should be. The numbers for Dampier tonight, 13 for 28 for 248 through the air. And then 70 on the ground, 3 rushing touchdowns. Probably will go down as one of the better quarterbacks New Mexico State will face the entire year. Similar to Caden Salter of Liberty, Mikey Keene was really good for Fresno State. He's a good one with a bright future.
That's certainly what part of the keys were. Try to stop him. Try to not let him out, contain him. Try to really keep him under wraps. But he still was able to scramble around, quick, fast, elusive, run the ball, threw the ball downfield quite well. Very good game.
New Mexico State just couldn't find a way to get those stops in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. The Aggies end up posting 23 points in the fourth, but the Lobos score 20. It's a 21-10 game at halftime, and we had a lot of scoring in the final 30 minutes tonight. So Bronco Mendenhall, a handshake with Tony Sanchez at midfield. First win for Bronco Mendenhall as the Lobo head coach. His 136th career. And the Lobos improve to 1-4. New Mexico State falls to 1-4. Aggies were in a similar spot 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they were 1-5 and eventually finished on a high note. Won their bowl game in the Quick Lane Bowl a year ago, 2-3, and a win today would have got them to that 2-3 marker. A long way to go, but a lot of positives as we take a look at our Whataburger play of the game. And for New Mexico State, it came all the way back in the first quarter. It was 7-0 Lobos. They scored a touchdown on a run by Rogers in the first play for New Mexico State, Danny. Lorenzo McMillan only got the card to rush, and of course, New Mexico State.
Things to clean up.
Aggies back in action at Jacksonville State on Wednesday, October 9th, as they start those midweek